Welcome back, everybody, to the Pair of Kings podcast. I'm your host, Saul Thompson. You can find me on Instagram at Saul Thompson. We are joined this week not only by my wonderful co-host.
I'm Michael Smith, and you can find me on Instagram at @_Smithstagram.
And this week's very special guest.
I'm Bailey Goldberg. You can find me on Instagram at BaileyXGoldberg.
And if you are watching this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe over on YouTube. And if you're listening to it, drop us a follow on your favorite podcast streaming platform to be notified of all and upcoming episodes that we'll be releasing. I think Spotify and Apple Podcasts notify you, but you can also turn those off if they're annoying.
Don't turn them off.
Don't turn them off. If you'd like extra episodes and early access, go to herohero.co/POK. You'll get early access to episodes and an additional episode every month for the low cost of $4. And your support really helps the podcast. Welcome to the podcast, Bailey.
Thank you.
How are you? What's new?
We already talked about all this,
Yeah.
so it doesn't... No, I don't know. I'm great.
Do you want me to jump?
Yeah,
do you want me to
what do
jump?
you want?
No, that's fine. All right. So when I first met Bailey, I learned that he is unable to tell white guys apart. Fuck it, we'll jump into it. Fuck how you're doing.
He had a full-on conversation with someone completely different.
Who doesn't really look like me?
Who
We're
looks
just
nothing
white guys.
like
Pre-haircut,
Saul.
it was the same guy,
It was
I swear.
not. It was so different.
Not even close.
You
Pull the picture up.
spent 4 hours talking to this guy
Yeah.
about
An
him.
hour max.
Him being
Hour
whatever.
next.
About him being like in the Navy and like
Freight and shipping logistics.
freight and shipping logistics.
Norwegian.
And then you were convinced for the next like 5 months that was Saul.
Yeah, that was
and
in
you were
July.
mad
You were
because you
mad.
thought he was fucking with you.
Because I've fucked with so many people and said so many things that weren't true, and I got a taste of it
You know
for
what
like the
that
first
is?
time as an
That's
adult.
projected.
Do we all look the
Yeah,
same?
no,
to you?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
You know which one's Michael and which one's Saul.
I'm just not going to say a name and we're going to be fine.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, dude, you.
Friend.
Yep, guy.
So anyways, I'm good. I've been working on some new stuff lately, and
Nice.
yeah.
What? Because we know, but there are other people listening who weren't part of the conversations prior to this. What do you do? What are you working on? And why are we talking to you?
Why are we talking to you? It's
Why
crazy.
the hell are you here?
Well, I'm here because you invited me. No, so I do mostly knitwear, mostly knit beanies. I do knitwear.
Bailey
all around.
followed me home. Just
Yeah,
will
yeah.
not leave.
I've just been sitting
Guys,
here
please, can I
podcasting
do a
without you.
podcast, please?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I do knit beanies mostly. That's like the bread and butter. I do knit sweaters and contracted work for like brands and stuff too. But yeah, knitwear production in-house.
Why bread and butter and not like beans on toast?
this is
American, not
America.
British. Yeah.
No, but it's beanies. Yeah. Or pork and beans.
The beanies on head.
Yo.
That's kind of the beanies on head of it.
Yo, you're
It's
off a
got-
bean
yeah.
right now?
I'm off a
Always.
bean. We can get. I think there's. I'm interested in the like new wave of knitting kids.
Mm-hmm.
But before that,
Shout out New Wave.
Shout out New Wave. Shout out knitting. My mother's gonna like this episode.
Mm.
Want to run us a fit check, Saul?
Sure. Yeah. So I have a pair of Halflinger wool slippers with Leo on them.
It's the first thing I saw when I came in too.
Yeah. Leo or my shoes?
The shoes.
Okay. I've got a very limited edition 2019 spring summer Dachshund. He's red, in the red colorway.
Does
He
that
was
count
a-
as red?
Yeah, he was a 1 of 5. The only red one in the drop though, so pretty rare. Australian made, beautifully constructed. Haven't had any problems with it. Haven't had to take it to a tailor or anything.
Dog like coat colors are like have the best names. Like Brindle.
Brindle.
That goes
Brindle?
crazy. Yeah, it's like
blue.
the, like,
I want blue.
Yeah,
A
blue goes
dog is
hard.
crazy.
Yeah, but it's just gray.
yeah.
No, it's blue.
like undertones though.
Like I have a blue cat technically, but she's gray.
but
you just
cats
don't
are
feed
like
her well. This is her coat is unhealthy.
Toast looks beautiful in photos.
Yeah.
She looks like strangely
No, I've seen her.
iridescent.
Yeah.
She's crazy.
She's cool.
Yeah.
She's face tuned.
I'm wearing a vintage pair of Levi's. They're Chrome Hearts jeans. I tore all the tags off, all the crosses.
I de-chromed them.
It was too garish, honestly. I just like the construction of the jeans themselves. I really like Levi's, so I just bought the Chrome Hearts ones and then took the patches off. And then wearing a vintage American Express shirt that is faded and destroyed and has a billion holes. And I need to get this fixed. Because in the summer it's a little bit stinky, and it gets a little sweaty.
Little vent hole.
For those listening, there's a huge armpit hole that gets a little stinky in the summer. But that's it. I was wearing a full outfit. I was wearing a Balenciaga button down earlier. That's an extra small, but it's big on me, which is really comical. The washing recycling one.
Oh, I didn't know you had that.
Yeah.
Damn, we could twin.
Yo, twin.
Yeah.
That's Twizzy. Yeah, strangely good shirt though. I was surprised at how much I liked wearing it.
I love when expensive stuff is good. That's crazy.
The first time.
You just don't expect it, you know?
No.
Yeah.
That was the outfit. Bailey,
it.
you wanna go next?
Run us.
Yeah. I have on Lyle McGraw pants. They're like custom made. He's the coolest guy ever. He's a good friend of mine. His bread and butter is pants. He also does jackets and shirts and things. He works with really cool materials. A lot of stuff is recycled, whatever. Or I'm wearing heavy stonewash canvas in this really awesome black gray color that's so stiff but so comfortable. Like I immediately wore these on a plane when I got them and like had zero complaints about wearing like a high-waisted, very heavy pant for 6 hours.
That's
while
a pretty
sitting down.
That's a ringing endorsement of a pair of pants.
good.
Holy shit.
I will endorse these harder than any pant I've ever worn for sure.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I've got on a sample sweater from my own collection or whatever you want to
Hell
call
yeah.
it. It is made of a yarn that was built for fly fishing.
Oh wait, holy shit.
Based on fly fishing dyes, I should say.
Oh, all right.
It's this
Cool.
like
What's a fly fishing dye? What are they
So,
dyeing for fly fishing?
wool. In fly fishing, they use wool to tie flies.
Mhm.
Like they like make
Really?
their hooks look like fun bugs.
Okay.
So it's like they made this like iridescent
You
dye
match
for
the
that.
So I don't know if it'll show up in video and on the YouTube. It's incredibly like vibrant.
Yeah, I call it 3 colors. It's like purple, pink, and blue, like
Yeah,
all at
I can
once.
see it.
And like in the higher wear areas, it really has this like pinkish glow to it.
Yeah, when you get real up close
Yeah, yeah.
to it.
You really
It has a great
you really gotta
sound.
Get in there.
That's nice.
really
Annoyingly
nice.
sounded really nice, actually. yeah. I wanted that to like suck, but it was really nice.
No, it was good.
Yeah, so I have this on, and then I have on a eBay beanie that I knit myself.
The e beanie.
Oh, tight.
The e-beanie.
I was wondering if that was a vintage find or a Bailey original.
If everything goes as planned, it's going to be a real eBay collab.
Oh, shit.
We'll see.
So wait,
Big
Michael,
things coming.
I haven't
Watch
talked
this
to. No, I haven't
space.
even started this, but this
Big
is I'm
things coming
speaking
in
it
a
into
long
existence.
time.
okay.
Big things coming never.
Just start talking about it as if it's happened.
It's exactly
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tight.
And that's the fit.
That's the fit.
Michael, you wanna round us out?
Yeah. I'm not wearing Crocs today because we're at Saul's house and my little feet are cold.
Do you want a pair of slippers?
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, fine.
Do you want my hot dog slippers?
Actually, yeah, give me the hot dog
Okay, yeah.
slippers.
I'll go grab them.
Okay, I'm about to be wearing hot dog slippers. I've got some Rick Owens cropped dress pants on. They're called a stairs. And I have a silk button-up shirt that's very, very deep V. And I have some arm warmers. Keeping it cozy. Saul is running to get me hot dogs. Oh, 1 hot dog slipper, 2 hot dog slippers. That one hit me in the face. We're doing great.
Am I allowed to change now that the fit check's done? I'm like melting.
Yeah, do you wanna-
No, I just want to take my sweater off.
I was gonna
so
say
bad.
if you want any clothes out of my closet, go crazy.
Like 4 layers on.
Yeah.
I'm too hot. Let me put a bunch of shit on.
You kept the
There's too
sweater
much
on
shit on me.
just to name drop the Bailey.
I realized as soon as we started that I was sweating. It wasn't that.
It's fine if it was that.
Do I make you nervous?
You can cut that. I don't even. We can redo the fit check. In fact, that's the thing I'm gonna text you about cutting is like everything I said about my sweater.
Yeah, don't talk about my sweater. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. Don't talk about any of my work.
Do you want to do the? I don't know if this would make this like 2 New York podcasts. You want to go through the tattoos we can see?
Oh, dude, they're really bad. But yeah, like,
Yeah.
That's. I wish I kept the fucking sweater on now.
Let's see.
Wait, are we allowed to swear?
No.
There's a podcast that I watch where they say they'll be like, "Yeah, but you will go to hell."
What are podcasts?
Haven't seen one yet.
Okay, yeah.
We can go top down. I have like a lot. I lived with a guy who was learning
Oh my
to
god,
tattoo
that's
at the time.
so close to the like billions must die face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's him on the side view.
His
Yeah, you
head
got-
says heaven, earth, hell.
Nice.
And I've had people ask if it was John McCain like a lot of times.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, I lived with a tattoo artist and let him practice on me a lot.
Nice.
When we were like 19. He's very good. But I have a lot of ones from very early.
Was he very good back then?
You can judge them and tell me. I'll expose one that's kind of funny too when we get there. I don't know. So I have this John McCain looking guy up here on the right shoulder.
I'll take B-roll.
Yeah.
If you're watching, we can. I'm gonna take terrible photos of all of them. Yep.
Yeah, it's not that much work.
I'll do that one.
The first tattoo I got was a brick wall on my leg in the backseat of my car. Because
Wait, while you were driving?
No, just like sitting
How
there.
you drive from the back seat?
Well, no.
It's a Honda Fit, it's really small.
while the car was driving, were you getting tattooed?
No, we were
You
parked.
just ghost ride the whip but get a tattoo.
So the guy who tattooed me was in a dorm at the time, and his dorm mate had a friend over or something, so we couldn't go there. And then we were gonna go to another friend's house, and that friend had bed bugs, so we didn't go to his house. So it was like, well,
And this tattoo just couldn't fucking
well,
wait.
no, I'm like 18, so like it matters a lot to
brick
me.
wall.
Now.
I love
know,
Pink
brick
Floyd
wall,
so
too.
much.
Yeah, of all things, the fucking brick wall. It's not even like that kind of brick wall. It's like a cutout, like a jagged cutout of a brick wall.
Tight.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got that guy. There's a duck with boots on who's like really happy about his boots.
Nice.
That's cool.
I love that one still. Ballet flats.
Nice.
This is my grandpa's plains call tag.
That's really
Here.
cool.
And then on my wrists, I have on both wrists, the left wrist and the right wrist, it's a rat going through a little portal.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's like his butt on the left wrist and his face, and that's from a Dungeons and Dragons.
Do you play D&D?
Not since high school, but
what the fuck?
like I would if I had time to actively play. I just feel like that's a commitment that like
Yeah.
either you go all the way or you just like don't have the right amount of fun when you do
That's
it.
fair.
Like
That's
you do
fair.
it like once for like 2
Yeah.
hours, and it's like, oh, that was like great. I'm glad I started, and you never go back, so you just
Yeah.
don't get to
I feel
enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I respect it.
My
I
D&D
respect it.
campaign that I was doing a couple years ago just fizzled into nothing, and I don't think we ever talk about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Honestly.
No one brings up the fact that we were doing it. We were all just embarrassed by
It's
the
a
fact that
soft
we
spot.
stopped.
You can't if you don't commit, you lose it.
I want like a Fleetwood Mac dynamic in a Dungeons and Dragons group where like everybody kind of hates each other,
But
you
they're also
still
all sleeping with each other?
exactly.
I feel like that happens more than you would think in terms
Yeah.
of like heavy D&D players. That feels
Yeah.
like really
Yeah.
common to me.
Yeah, I went to a game shop in Australia when I was there, just as like a drop in. I was like, I'm bored. Friday night, I kind of don't want to drink. I'm gonna go play D&D. And the like oddest amount of sexual tension existed between these like 7 nerds
Yo.
and then
Yeah.
me.
At the nerd conventions,
Oh, they
at the like
They're horny.
the like
Yeah.
gamer conventions,
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
damn, these people probably fuck more than like most like
Probably.
parties.
They're
I
like
go
really
to.
open is the
Yeah.
thing. When you're in like communities like that, people are really
Yeah.
open about who they are, so they're like comfortable with it.
Yeah,
I
good for them.
I
Yeah,
got
100%.
weird looks when I went to the game. Like I look like me. I show up in like a pair of jeans and a t-shirt.
Hey, I love
And-
that podcast.
I think I got weird looks. It'd be like a dork showing up to a frat party, but then like vice versa. It's the frat bro showing up to the D&D campaign. And like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, who do you know here? Name 3 classes and like 2 spells, right? But yeah, I mean, like, they were like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I want to play D&D. And they're like, have you ever played before? And I was like, yes. And they're like, prove it. And I was like, wow, this kind of sucks now.
Saul's like, I'm so Chad coded they wouldn't accept me at the D&D place.
I had that weird dynamic in high school because I played a lot of Magic the Gathering in high school,
so
and I
sick.
would go to like Friday night tournaments in like
Yeah.
my town at like the comic shop.
Sure.
But I would come in like Supreme, like a bunch of
so
Supreme,
sick. Yeah.
like always like a 5 panel.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like and it was just like, I think that I was also bad. So it was just like a weird situation where they were like kind to me, but they're like, yeah, this kid fucking sucks. Like I wouldn't net deck. I would just like build from cards that I pulled and stuff.
That's
so it was
cool.
like I couldn't possibly be as good as them. And I would play illegal cards by accident because like
Why wouldn't you just play sealed then?
I don't think I know what that is.
Oh.
What, like a draft?
No. So you get, I think, 6 packs of 14 or 18 cards. I
It
forget
sounds
how
like
many.
a draft to me.
Well, draft is like you pass them around. Sealed is you have your own packs, and then you have to build a deck from the packs that you have.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
Well, they had-
I have a sealed deck over there if you want to like peek through it while we're talking.
Of Magic?
Yeah.
I would peek through it after.
Yeah.
but not-
and then I've got
yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh here. I don't know if I have my Pokemon cards here either. Those might be at my mom's.
Tight.
Sorry, fucking
Dope.
dork.
What else
Sorry,
do you
I'm
have?
too
What
chat
else?
coded
What other things do you have?
in my apartment.
Yeah,
Just like in general.
What are
What's
your
some other?
favorite? Yeah, what's your
Ooh,
favorite thing?
What's my favorite thing? Probably my dog.
Yeah, what's your favorite thing that's not alive?
Ooh.
It could have been alive before though,
Ooh.
or they.
Let me think. My favorite thing. I gotta pick one.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I
Damn.
couldn't fucking do that. I'm
Fucking
not.
weed.
No. I don't know. I'll have a think
Cool.
on that. My favorite thing.
I want to see Supreme era Bailey.
I can find a photo
Were
right
you
now
like
very
box
easily.
logo pilled?
Yeah, but I couldn't afford like a box logo hoodie or anything.
Skill issue.
Okay.
So it was like, you know,
Just
100%.
buy him faster.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it wasn't like a time. It was like I
Getting
didn't have like money. It's just like,
you didn't. What was it like? 80 something bucks back in the day. 120.
yeah, but I didn't like work or anything. I was like a kid.
well, where'd you get?
I was like 15.
But you
I
were
don't-
still buying like how many 5 panels did you have?
I
Just
don't know,
one.
like 6, but it would be like,
So 6 5 panels is one box logo hoodie.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't like good with the economy as a kid. It was just like I could like convince like my mom or my grandma to like buy me like a $45 hat, but like I couldn't.
Not $120 hoodie. That's reasonable. I get that.
I had like my partner camped out once for me and like
Oh.
was at the front of the line and had to leave for a final,
Oh.
but like camped in the snow. For, like,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh man.
And like I missed out on it. I was gonna
So
have
they
a
had
Heather Gray.
the camping out experience.
Yeah,
But not the reward.
Not the
Yeah.
yeah.
Tight.
So they kind of had the
Fuck.
camping out experience.
Yeah, I guess so.
This was also like 2016 to be, or no, earlier, like 2015 to be fair.
The Supreme line back in the day was an experience.
Yeah, it'll never.
I'm sure
2015 is not super long ago.
that's 9 years, buddy.
Yeah, but when
Fuck
you're
me.
so you're old, I know that much. So like, I learned that like it feels like years.
You're
like,
old.
I am old. I mean,
Michael,
that's fair. I'll
You're
take it.
old.
No, what I'm okay. I learned. I was like talking about this the other day because someone told me like, you know how you're like, oh my god, every year goes by so quickly now, and
Because it's a smaller fraction of. Or it's,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's no longer like 10%
Well, so, so
of your life.
2015 wasn't that long ago for you, but it was long ago for me.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a larger fraction. for me.
2015 was like a third of my life ago.
That
when
was
I think about it.
almost half of my life ago.
Yeah.
I feel like pressure to tell you what portion of my life it was, but I
How
don't know
old
that I
are
want to
you?
do the math.
You're 20.
I'm 24.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a bunch of noise. Sorry.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
So, Michael, as a resident old person,
Yeah.
you're obviously the most into knitwear, right? You're getting to that age where you're only wearing like thick wool sweaters.
Yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
You're
fisherman
sitting-
knits.
A lot of fisherman knits. You're walking
Yeah.
around with like a book and a bad expression on your face. I just
That's it. Yeah,
yeah.
no, you're right. Yep.
Okay.
I am that. Thank you. I do think there is kind of like a resurgence. Like I think 10 years ago people were knitting, but it was kind of like a more like nerdy thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
trendy.
And now it's like there's sort of a new sort of like era of knitting kids who are like getting like people in general are knitting a lot more, but it's also like this sort of popular group of like knitting. I feel
Yeah.
like knitting is like a cool fashion thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that to pass though, to be honest.
Really?
With you. Yeah.
Really?
It like gives me like the not imposter syndrome, the just like oh, I'm doing what everyone else is doing right now kind of feeling, which is like it's annoying to be the person to say that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's true. It makes me feel like, oh my god, everyone's coming for me. Like I'm not gonna have my thing anymore.
People are coming for you, bro.
Yeah.
Sick.
People, they're behind me. They're in my walls. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm really glad because it's like really fun.
Yeah.
So like having other people doing it and like having people to talk to about it is sick.
Do you talk about it in more of a technical fashion, or like are you sharing tips and tricks, or is it more of just like I'm trying this out, doing it more as a community activity?
So like talking to people who like knit will like get technical with it for sure. Talking in general though, like I don't really like sharing that part of it because I don't know if this sounds like like dickheadish to say, but I feel like part of what like maybe sets me out from like the group of people that are knitting in the trend also is like I don't know. I don't want to like talk about everything that I'm doing. I kind of want to just show like a really nice end product.
Making
You know,
moves in silence.
yeah, but not exactly.
Well, it's like kitchen's a mess, but the
Making-
food looks great, sort of thing.
Making moves in moderate to moderate to no noise.
No, like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Give me
I
a second.
sort of get what you're saying, right? Like the process behind it isn't necessarily what you want to talk about. You just want to have like a nice cohesive end thing to then discuss.
Yeah, there's parts of the process that I find really interesting, and then there's parts like in terms of like interesting to share,
Yeah.
and then parts of the process that I'm like, I'm sure people would like it, but I just like don't. I'm not super interested in sharing it.
Take us through the entire process and by
When did you start knitting?
So it was 20, like turning into 2021.
Mm.
So I was making rugs starting in like 20.
Oh, let's go.
Early 2019, I started making rugs as like I was working a sewing job at the time, and I was like, sewing was my passion, but I got so fried on it that I was like, I couldn't come home and sew my own projects anymore. It was like I needed another activity to do.
Sure.
So I was like, oh, rugs could be really sick, and I like started doing that. Mind you, before TikTok, like before everyone on TikTok was making rugs.
You have to designate
not to have a god complex, but I was early. No, but so yeah, I was doing that for a long time. So I started amassing like a ton of yarn, and then like I do the thing where like anything that I really like, I end up making my like job.
Sure.
So I like started doing commissions on it, and I was like, I quit working for the sewing guy, and was doing like rugs full time. And then I got like really jaded and sick of that, and like no longer had fun making rugs. So I was like, what's next? And I had like an online shopping cart full of jewelry making supplies, and I was like gonna start like making jewelry. But then I saw a sweater that I really wanted that was like a vintage. It was International Ladies Garment Workers Union merch, and it was really fucking
Holy
sick.
shit.
I loved it more than anything, and I found like one example of it and then couldn't find anyone else who had one, and I was like, well, I can't get this one. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna learn how to knit. Like I have all this yarn.
You saw a photo of it. You didn't like add it to cart.
No, yeah. No,
Okay.
I saw a photo of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I searched for it for like 3 months straight.
Sure.
And I like finally gave up, and I like abandoned the jewelry shopping cart and just bought stuff to start knitting.
Nice.
Yeah. And like that was the ethos. And so that was like 2021, so almost 4 years.
What about knitting do you really enjoy? Is it sort of the process of it? Do you like having your hands busy? Is it sort of creating that final thing? Is it trying new styles out? Like, what about it drew you to it and then kept you with it?
Well, so like what drew me was trying to make that sweater, because I just needed that sweater. And like I ended up getting the actual sweater, and I still haven't made my own version, and I think I could make a better version now.
Wow.
But
do you think if you do make it, then you'll have to move on to something else?
I
Is that
actually
why
like
you haven't
thought
done
about
it
that
yet?
recently, like
Final
the other
Quest?
day, because yeah, literally like I've completed it. No, I really like just like not having idle hands in general. Like I don't feel good when I'm not like making something or like doing an activity. I start to go like a little cuckoo. Like on vacation, like 5 days into a vacation, I'm like, I'm miserable right now. Like I haven't like made a thing in a couple days.
You can't bring your knitting on a vacation?
I like could, but it's like then I'm like defeating a vacation kind of. You know?
I feel like the whole great thing about knitting is that you just are able to do it idly.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I mean that's true,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Either way, so like it's like the creating things is like when I feel good, and then
Sure.
I really like having a vision and then bringing it through and completing it, and then getting the chance to like show that thing that's completed.
Cool.
It's like the whole process I enjoy.
Is there something that you've made that you've been like pleasantly surprised at how many other people really like clicked with?
This eBay beanie,
Really?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's not eBay. It's like you really like Sears merch.
I love Sears. I have a custom pair of jeans made by my friend Austin Beeman in Texas that he made the jeans from ground up for me, and chain stitch embroidered the Sears logo across the crotch for me, like the old school like BBC like running dog jeans.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I really really like Sears. I'm the type of person who like really like I find something and I'm like I kind of like this, and then I like start researching it a little more or start like getting those things in hand, and then I'm like, oh no, I really like this, and like this is all I am. I like Flanderize myself really quickly.
The same pair of pants in a ton of photos, right? I remember seeing one of your stories like 3 months ago, and you're like, "This is the first photo of a beanie that I've taken that my like NB 103 military pants were not
the
in."
OG 507.
OG 507.
So like the post Vietnam
New
era.
Balance 103.
I don't know. I was throwing out 2 numbers and a bunch of two letters and a bunch of numbers.
Cut this. Please cut that though.
No,
No.
no,
Please, guys.
No.
Guys, come
Sorry.
on.
No.
Guys.
you're an asshole.
Can I
to
be
me
your first
on the-
walkout guest? Because you
About
won't
time.
cut something like mildly dumb.
That'd be
I said.
kind of funny, honestly.
Yeah. So OG 507s.
Should we stage beef?
I'm not good at it. I choke. Like I choke doing like a bit that I'm
Yo,
like
we
forced
tried to
do.
stage beef and Bailey choked.
No, like I've literally had that exact situation too, where like if I'm really good at like doing a character or doing a bit unless someone like tells me to do it, and then it's like no, I don't know how to do it
Oh,
anymore.
it's the wash the dishes thing.
Yeah. What?
What is that?
You're washing the dishes and someone's like, actually, could you do those over there? And you're like, now I don't want to do this. Like, fuck you. What the fuck?
Oh no, it's like I get nervous. I just like I
Oh.
choke under
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of
Do I
pressure.
make, do I make you nervous?
Yeah,
The second-
everything makes me nervous. Everything that's not in my apartment makes me nervous.
The second you ask me to like think of something, I'm like, what? Like it just disappears from my brain.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So OG 507s are a military pant that came after the OG 107, which is like the really
That's not
popular
how
pant.
numbers work.
507 after 107.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the 108, unfortunately.
Hmm.
I don't know what the 5 necessarily denotes,
how
but they
do
are
they-
different fabric.
Okay.
I'm too annoying to be on a podcast. I think.
No,
it's just
it's gonna be great.
yeah.
Oh,
It
it's gonna
will
be
be
so
good.
good. He's writing down to
He's
cut
writing-
some shit out.
Yeah.
Writing down
Cut this.
annoying guest.
This segment sucked.
This segment
This
sucked.
is this the Patreon stuff you guys were talking
No.
about?
No,
You're not on the Patreon, sorry.
no.
That's all good.
Yeah.
You got
Um,
Kiko on the Patreon.
No.
I actually hot take. I think Kiko's recent stuff isn't that great, and I think that the hype from the Kiko Asics overshadowed a lot of his work, and he's sort of coasting off of that. But Laura and Deanna Fanning are really good, and the women's stuff is really cool. Just say.
If you talk like this, Kiko can't hear it.
Yep. He could only read lips, so I
Yeah.
was blocking it. You know what I mean?
Do you follow do you like follow along with fashion in general, or is it more of the like? Because I feel like the DIY scene and the like runway scenes are quite like separated.
Yeah, I'm like somewhere in the middle of the two. Like myself, I feel like in terms of like what I do. Also, like I don't really want to be boxed in as like a DIY like home knitter, but I also am not like this is my brand or this is my label. But also like I don't really follow either of them too intently because it's like the same thing where it like messes with my head and makes me feel bad about myself, especially when I look at like
very true.
contemporaries as opposed to
Yeah.
like looking at like Rick or Raph or whatever.
Who makes you the most insecure?
I could answer that, but I'm not.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in terms of work, and not just like personally feeling inadequate.
Yeah, I could. I'm not answering.
Michael, did you unplug my router? Why would you do that?
Did I unplug your router?
Yeah.
You'll get another one.
get another one?
You'll be all
It's
right,
done.
champ. Rub some
Everything's
dirt in
cooked.
it.
Rub some dirt in it.
There's another outlet right there.
Whatever, dude. You're interrupting my flow, dude.
Dude, we're trying to lock in right now.
I can't lock in if you keep accusing me of unplugging your router. It's so hard to talk to you when you're being this emotional. So
Yeah, holy shit. My mom was right about you. Jesus Christ. Yeah. All that shit your friends are saying behind your back is absolutely true.
God damn it.
The fuck?
Bailey, do you knit everything by hand, or are you like is everything done by your hands, like all the beanies and everything, or if you start, is anything like automated at this point?
Yeah, so I have this like middle ground where I machine knit, but not in a machine that
How
is
does a machine
automated.
knit work?
So basically, all knitting machines work the same, whether or not they're automated or a hand operated machine. It kind of looks like a piano keyboard, and each key is then a hook instead of a key,
Oh.
and then you pull across yarn that gets looped by that hook. So instead of having 2 needles, you have 100.
And it's just pulling. Oh, and it's like one at a time.
So if
or like
you-
not one at a time, but
if-
like all of them at once. It's pulling through.
Yeah, well, it's like one at a time, but it's you pull across a carriage, which is the thing guiding your yarn across. That
Ah.
carriage tells the needle to come out and pull the yarn in. So they go one at a time, but it's like
You
know,
said it's like piano keys. Are you like?
just like
are
the
you
shape.
like?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm reaching over it like this all day. I also like specifically sought out and chose a machine that has not a single electronic on it for the sake of I don't love the look of any like automated machines. I think they're like
Like the look of the machine or the look of what they produce?
the product from those machines. It's like machine knits are typically very noticeably machine knit to people who are like in the community and understand it.
Is it just because they're too consistent?
Kinda.
Like, okay.
Yeah, it's consistency, and it's also a lot of it I think is like gauge too. A lot of machine
Sure.
knits tend to be this like standard gauge is finer than I
Yep.
like to knit myself anyways in general. And a lot of machines are standard. And I go like bulky basic technically.
Sure. Is there a way to game the system at all? Like, can you fuck
What do you
with?
think I'm doing, bro?
Can you fuck with a machine at all? Could you remove like half of those needles and only use 50 and loosen up the gauge?
Yeah, you don't even actually need to remove the needles if you want to do that. You just basically tell it not to knit you tell it to knit
Okay.
every other needle and you
Sure.
get a big like loose thing, but it's not the same as a hand knit will look. I mean, it'll never be the same as a hand knit, you know.
Sure.
There's just like human intervention that can't be done that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you try hand knitting and you just prefer machine? Is it like a speed thing now that you're sort of not mass producing, but producing at a wider scale?
Yeah, it's definitely a speed thing. I don't think that you can successfully like as mass produced as I am, I'm still super small lot. I don't even think you can successfully do like small lot at the scale that I do strictly by hand, especially like alone. Like I've hired on my sister since, who like moved out here to go to Pratt, and she's at the studio like once a week with me.
Cool.
Helping me do like finishing work and stuff. And it's like still like I have like reached the max of what I can do.
Yeah.
Basically, like without expanding in one way or another.
Sure.
How many hats? I mean, it's mainly hats. You're doing sweaters soon.
So yeah, my sweaters, I'm working with a facility in California that does it, and I like use facility to make it sound better. It's a guy in his garage.
That's so cool.
Tight.
He actually has knit Rick like a couple times.
Oh really?
Like Rick Runway in like 2005.
Interesting.
Like fall winter, they did like these like long loose distressed cardigans.
Psycho knit.
I'll find it for you. I pulled it up the other day because I was in California and I visited with them in person for the first time. But what's cool about his place is that him and this 80-year-old woman just knit out of their garage and have been doing it for 50 years together.
That's
and
so
like
cool.
they do what I'm doing with 50 years more experience than I have. So it's like, it's really cool.
Sort of a look into your future.
Yeah.
I honestly hope so. I love them so much. It was really sick to get to meet them. And they like, I'll like explain to them the measurements I'm looking for on a sweater, and they'll tell me why I shouldn't do that because it's not going to look like
so
what I
cool.
want.
Tight.
And I'll be like, no, like trust me, like I'm going for like something different than you think. And then they'll make it for me, and I'm like, oh my god, they were right. Like, what a waste. Like, they were so right.
Shit ass kid with 4 years of
I,
experience.
literally every single time I do this.
There's a chance that the whatever sweater he made for Rick, my mother might have made a knockoff version for a teddy bear for me once.
If you can show me the teddy bear, I can tell you if it's it. Probably.
You have photos of the teddy bears.
I do, yeah. I'll show you the bear, and it's something that's been iterated through a few times. So I have like the later iteration and the bear version. My mother knitted me a little bear.
I have it.
Yannick, can we get 2005 Rick Owens Psycho knit cardigan from
It
the
might
runway?
not be that. I will let you know.
Yeah,
Yannick,
that's why
can we
I'm-
get whatever it's supposed to be put above us, and I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
I have it pulled up in my Safari, saved that way, so I can keep remembering it.
How many
it was
tabs
it was
you
actually
got?
2000. I had to stop recently.
2000. Oh shit, that's like non-documented, Rick.
I know, because I tried to find runway images of it and I couldn't for the life of me.
Yeah,
but
I
they
don't
did they did pull it out to show me it in person, and I forgot to take a picture when they pulled it out for me.
I don't even know what I don't know season names that far back
Yeah.
because there's no pictures.
It was, so I realized it wasn't distressed either. It was just,
Yeah, like knit kind of like.
it was a looser gauge bulky, and it was a really long like almost like a duffel coat.
Huh.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Weird.
But like I don't think it had toggles or any closure on it.
Interesting. I don't know what that is at all.
I might have took a
That's-
picture of Juan wearing it or holding it.
I was 6 when that came out, so
I was,
Dude, you're so old.
1.
yeah. What was the thing you were doing with Selfridges?
I'm a stockist, or they're a stockist of mine.
So Bailey's gone. You've sold out.
Yeah, like I have to pay taxes now and shit.
Shit.
yeah. I'm on the books officially. I have like an actual business registered in the state of New York now.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. They actually like cold emailed me.
Whoa!
As,
How did they find you?
So
They're in his walls.
Yeah. They saw me in a psychosis fit. No, so their assistant menswear buyer. The roles have shifted around since then, but it was this guy Joe Evans, who I guess he just followed me on Instagram for a long time, and I think he was just like watching and was like, oh, I think he's like ready and able. And when I had met with him and talked with him, he was like, oh, like my big thing, like he's been in a couple roles since and before that at Selfridges, and he was telling me like his thing that he really cared about was just bringing in cool stuff no matter like what it took. And like he had told me a story about like when he was buying for homeware, he like found a guy who was like retired and making ceramics in his shed, and who like had no interest in being a business, and he was like, hey, like I want to stock you. I think the stuff you make is like amazing. Like
That's so cool.
I will like help you figure out the business things if you need to. And I was like, oh, this is
We
like
should
literally
talk
the
to that
perfect
guy.
situation.
Yeah, we should.
It's interesting. Like,
Bailey, we're gonna ask you to leave. Can we get Joe Evans at the
can we
podcast?
get Joe
Yeah,
Evans?
fly him in from London.
What's the like? Did you have to ramp up production a lot for that? Is it just
Yeah.
at the Selfridges London store, or is it like?
So it was all of their stores
not
and
like Bailey.
e-commerce, which I think they only have 2 stores, maybe 3.
not
But
a
and
lot.
they did e-commerce as well. But I definitely had to ramp up, and I definitely had to like actually lock in for the first time in terms of like really being on top of it and like actually tracking, you know, like the actual numbers of like what supplies it takes per beanie and things like that, and like really paying attention to that and actually charting out my work and seeing like what percentage of the product I was done and come up with an actual production schedule to follow.
When you're picking yarn, do you try and pick yarn that is consistently produced and easy to attain, or are you picking sort of best yarn available, and if it goes out while you're, you know, halfway through an order X, Y, and Z, what do you do?
I like wholesale with a specific company now. Okay. But I've pretty much been with this company since the beginning of my knitting. I had already like used their yarns when I was making rugs originally. Gotcha. So I like knew I liked this yarn a lot. Yeah. And like when I was saying before about like wanting to knit that sweater, like the reason I didn't knit that sweater immediately is because I realized it's like really hard to knit a sweater. Yeah. Like when I first tried, and like it's really hard to do color work, and it's really hard to do shaping and all these things. Sure. So I was just trying to like figure out an easy item to make. And I was like, oh, a beanie, I'm sure can't be that bad. And I was like, I don't want to make it in like a scratchy wool that I have from making rugs. And I had this already on hand. So I like, this was like the first yarn I really used to knit as well.
You didn't start with a scarf?
No scarf. I don't like scarves. So it's like,
I think I learned to knit when I was like 10. Yeah. And I knitted a scarf. And then I think I made most of a like stuffed animal monkey. And I never finished it. And those are the two things I've knit in my entire life.
That rules though.
It was cool. Yeah.
That's something. A lot of people haven't done anything before.
I sometimes think about going back, not just because I don't know. It seems like something to keep me busy and I'm not creative anymore.
With so many young people currently sort of like getting into or joining the knitting community, are there certain trends that you see being born out of all of those people joining? And is there a existing movement within the entrenched knitting community, sort of the DIY group that was sort of, you know, there before the last 6 months, let's say, that's sort of coming up in response to that new movement?
Yeah, I don't know that there's like necessarily like a divide. I do think that like a lot of in terms of knitting, I'm still very new as a knitter. Like there's people who've been knitting since they were like 2 years old actively.
Some like old woman in Joanne fabrics.
No, really. And like
the LeBron James.
Those people are the most vocal about their opinions on knitting for sure. Yeah. But no, I mean, I think a lot of like newer knitting, and like these people aren't running full on businesses necessarily. Like they're knitting because they like it and they're selling those things. But a lot of those people are like following the trend cycle pretty heavily, I think. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But like it's definitely like a lot of like, you know, like bows and like coquette type stuff right now. Coquette. Sure. Yeah.
Do you feel like is there like an aspirational thing you want to make that you have not yet like mastered?
Yo, make a Knit Supreme box logo sweater. Bring it full circle.
I've thought of it. I don't want to. I don't want to be the bootleg person. That's my like big thing, is like I like referencing stuff that I really like for, you know, like I want to make a Sears beanie, obviously, and things like that. Yeah.
Has Sears gone under? They still around?
Are they? Yeah.
They're paired with whatever the like washing machine company is or whatever.
Maytag?
They like no like not that, like
Bed Bath and Beyond.
No, because Bed Bath & Beyond's another company now also.
Oh, Jesus.
Bed Bath & Beyond is like also Wayfair or something now.
Oh, shit.
Like they go to, or Overstock.com.
You mean the children's smuggling company?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the X-ray, the JPEGs on the website to see the children. Yeah, no. So Sears is like under for sure. There's a really, really cool Sears building.
Sears
like
Tower?
Deep in, yeah.
That
like
one?
the one everyone knows. No, in like deep Queens or deep Brooklyn.
Huh.
That like, I think apparently
like
they've been like.
store?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or like headquarters or something. I don't know, but it has a great Sears like logo in the like cement or whatever the building is made out of. Yeah. And there's like a couple really insane brutalist ones that you're like, whoa, why does this exist?
It's like Gothic CVS or whatever. They get the brutalist Sears.
Like it feels like a Soviet building.
Where's Gothic CVS?
It's, I don't know. Yannick, can we get Gothic CVS, brutalist Sears, as I'm saying them, brutalist Sears? Can we get Boston City Hall, which looks like a communist building?
Can I get that picture of the gay little monkey in the Apple store?
Gay little monkey in the Apple store. And then give me Gothic CVS one more time. And then give me Yankee Stadium in 1926.
And I'll know if it's 27.
Yep. Thanks, Yannick.
Thank you, Yannick.
Can you colorize that as well, though?
Oh my God. So, okay. big infatuation with Sears. You love vintage clothing as well. You're very outspoken about getting, or not outspoken, but on your story, you'll usually post like, I just got this X, Y, or Z from the 80s or 60s or 70s. Is there a certain decade that you really like, or are there certain decades that you like for certain things?
Yeah. It's hard to specify.
Sure.
'Cause I think I like the concept of something more than the thing almost. Like I don't know.
Elaborate on that.
I'm not into Sears. I'm into the idea of Sears.
No, well, yeah.
I have an idea.
There's horrible things that Sears made in the 70s, 80s, 50s, 40s, whatever. Like all these things can suck. It's like it needs to be a good thing too. But like when it comes to other things, like OG 507's 1977 is the best pair, hands down.
Oh.
How can you tell?
Yeah, how can you tell?
I had to buy a lot of pairs.
So run us through
I
what are
had-
the problems with the 96? What's the problem with 96?
I don't know that I can get that specific,
Yeah.
but I just know that year was the best year. Basically, I was given a pair of OG 507s in 2019 that would like turned into my favorite pair of pants really, really quickly.
Sure.
And then I like started to gain a little weight and I like lost the ability to wear those. So I was
Ooh.
like, I bought a new pair and it came and I was like, something is wrong with these. These are like horrible for whatever reason.
Something has shifted.
Yeah, and they're cheap enough that like I was getting them for like $25 a
Yeah.
lot of the time. So if I got it and didn't like it, I just kept it and bought another pair. And like every time I did that, I was like laying them next to the pair that I had,
Just to
and
check.
just to like, well, because it's like, why is this not the same? I couldn't-
too many OG 507. Now we are homeless.
Our kids in the coal mine now, or the lithium mine. No, but so like
Someone who is good at economy, please help me budget. My family is dying.
they're like, why have you bought 100 pairs of 507s this week? You're making $10,000 a month. You should be able to afford this. Why are you buying these pants? But yeah, anyway, I just bought like a bunch of pairs of it, so I learned a bunch about them because of that. And like, I just like started laying them down. I found out I like wanted to write like a little like zine or like book or
That'd
like
be
write
cool.
like a Heddle.
Yeah.
I was like about to write a Heddles
Talk
article about this
to-
because I was so into it.
Talk to Julian.
Yeah.
I tell her Julian's like a strictly not strictly, but he's like a military uniform.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
like obsessive. Like
If you
he
want to
knows-
write a Heddles thing, you could also talk to Albert or a guy Reed. I can put you in contact with. You could write about that.
Yo, write
I
some
have to learn how
Heddle
to
shit.
write first.
Yeah. I gotta learn what Heddles is.
Yeah, I
You're
gotta-
doing like the hunt and peck with one finger.
Yeah. It takes me 4 years to do like a 2-paragraph thing just to say that you have to crop the pants to make them good,
Just knit it.
which is like acted. That's what it is.
That'd be cool if you knit the article. That
Yo,
would take
did you see that
years.
thing on Twitter that was the guy the someone like knitted that YouTube comment that
Yeah.
was that guy that was like, I love this song, I just want to blast it as loud as possible, but my wife is sleeping and I love my beautiful wife.
That rules.
It was so cute, but it's just a big ass scarf and that's what it says.
Yeah, that goes crazy.
Cortado Friday
Cortado
is
Friday.
today.
Yeah.
Did you get your cortado?
Yeah. I didn't post it though because I thought I was going to
What the fuck? Why wouldn't you?
I thought I was going
Fake cortado.
I thought I was
fan.
going 10 minutes away from my house. It turns out I was going 50 minutes away from my house.
Oh, to
'cause
get here?
I didn't look up this address.
Yeah.
I just assumed I knew where it was. So I like got it. Cortado Friday comes from me moving my car Friday mornings for street sweeping. It's my
okay.
little treat that I get myself on the way back.
Okay.
And I like just started to, I think I said it. Like I make everything in my life a bit. Cause
I
it's, like,
really
can't take
really
anything
wanted to do a
seriously.
bit on the podcast where we got you like 16 cortados and just forced you to drink them all.
I had 2 yesterday and
Okay.
I had one at like 5 p.m. and I felt like I was tweaking the rest of the night. So like
Yeah.
16 would put me down.
I had a cortado this morning.
They're good, right?
Yeah,
Like, they're-
yeah.
If
Like
if I have like more than 2
I have to
espresso based
find-
drinks in like before noon even, I probably won't sleep.
Yeah.
Before
But
Goon.
Where's the best cortado in New York?
I want this on a sweater. So this is my favorite image. I'll send it to Yannick. I'll send it to him now out of context. But essentially, it's a comment on YouTube from Ian Davis 2 years ago. I'm a huge DP fan. Daft Punk, not double penetration. And I inst and it cuts off. But I think that would be such a funny sweater.
I didn't see that it cut off. That rules.
Yeah.
Tell me the best cortado in New York.
Ooh. What's your choice of milk?
Whole. I can't
nice.
stand an oat milk cortado. Actually,
Really?
Yeah. I don't like oat milk as a milk alternative for espresso drinks because it tastes too like bready to me. Almost. It's
That's
really hard to
fair.
like properly steam an oat milk. I think.
Do you like almond?
Yeah.
Soy.
I think something about whole milk and like so many coffee shops pull really like fruity acidic
Yeah.
espresso drinks and I don't think it goes that well with whole milk.
Okay, I get what you mean.
I'm more like I like almond and soy more.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, something about they're a little sweeter, and I feel like they blend better with that. Like,
I just feel like I taste the milks a lot when they're just not like a whole cow's milk. I say cat's
milk.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean whole milk. Sorry.
Totally not
Yeah.
not going to a secret cafe in Brooklyn that has cat milk lattes. What's your favorite one?
I like La Cabra the most,
Okay,
but
yeah.
I think it's like pretty subjective because it depends on like.
Obviously, it's subjective, but stand behind it. Be
Yeah,
like, this is
fuck
the
it.
best
No, I know. I mean,
cortado. Fuck
Stand
you if
on
it's
it
different.
and argue with me.
I think
Yeah.
the vibe that you're drinking a drink in is very crucial, and I really like the vibes in La Cabra.
La Cabra is
What if I chase you with
Perfect
a
vibes.
machete around the Cabra? Would you?
I would
like-
have almond milk easily if that was the case.
La Cabra has perfect vibes, perfect pastries, and just not quite the right coffee. In
for
my
you,
opinion.
for your sake. Okay.
Just no. This is a fact. The coffee is love La Cabra. Don't get me wrong. Also, does that mean you're not doing that every Friday? Because that's you got to go to the Lower East Side or East Village for La Cabra.
Yeah, I go to a cafe by my house. That's like a small cafe.
What is it?
I can't say because
What's the address?
I can't say because it is my house pretty much. I can't say that.
Just say it. We'll beep it.
I won't beep
If
it.
you beep it, it's gonna be
I
a
won't
long
beep
beep.
it.
Yeah,
It's
do
called-
it.
I won't beep
It's called.
it. One of my favorite.
Just beep the rest.
I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
beeping
yeah.
this as I keep talking. No, one of my favorite coffee shops in the city, and I love shouting them out, is Bungee Space. In the Lower
Bungee
East Side.
Space?
I love Bungee
What's
Space.
that? What?
It's like a combination clothing store, bookstore, art book object store, and they also make coffee.
I love when stores do that.
Yeah, and they stock good stuff. They have like a bunch of vintage like Raf Calvin Klein and Paloma wool. I'm like, oh, why do you have this? They're super cool. But they make really good espresso. And I struggled to find good espresso in New York City for a while.
Mhm.
But they make very good coffee, and then they have a really good like buckwheat soba tea that's delicious.
I love like buckwheat teas.
Okay.
That's like one of the most interesting teas to me.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's almost like a bone broth when you drink it. Like it having that like the hardiness of like a buckwheat. It's
okay,
like
yeah.
What happened to the bone broth thing?
I don't know because I still think it's sick.
The Brodo type shit?
Like it rules.
What is Brodo?
You didn't live here for the bone broth era.
Dude, everywhere had bone broth.
Bone broth, like you would
With,
just
like,
get a
corners
cup of
everywhere.
bone broth.
Yeah.
the fuck? How much would they charge for that?
$10.
Yeah.
Are you
I
kidding?
feel like I've paid like $13 for a bone broth
Paid
before.
for bone broth?
When I like didn't have a job and wasn't like making money either.
I've never been in New York without a job, and I've also never fucking bought bone broth.
Dude,
So
I
do
don't-
you think every like 8 to 10 months there's some secret shadow government in New York that gets together and like, what can we get these idiots to pay for?
What do we have? Like, it's the like
That's
like,
TikTok.
the Don Draper shit. Like, what do we have too much of, and how do we get people to buy it?
Yeah.
It was bone broth a couple years ago.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
It's
you had bone broth?
it's
It's
in now.
It's just like slightly tasty water.
Yeah, that like rules. That's what buckwheat
They're-
soba tea is too.
No, but buckwheat soba tea is like okay. Making buckwheat soba tea is like a little bit sexy and entrancing. Somebody's like boiling bones,
Boiling a cow
like-
skull. What
like-
they forgot to do was caffeinate the bone broth.
Oh,
'Cause
no. Charged broth?
Yeah, charged broth. The Panera bone broth that kills
Oh,
you.
no.
the supercharge.
So you could do this. You could just buy caffeine pills, pop them open, and mix them into some bone broth.
Did you know they had
Yeah.
to stop selling pure caffeine extract because too many people were taking too much and dying?
Let's
Yeah,
take a
you
trip.
They won't
think,
listen.
You're like, oh, it's caffeine. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
That's just a silly warning label, and then you take like 10 pills and your
Exactly.
Heart explodes.
Yeah,
One of my
exactly
friends
what you think is gonna happen is
in
gonna happen.
college used to take straight up caffeine pills as
Yeah.
like instead of drinking coffee.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much do you take? He's like, well, if I go to the library, I take 2. And it was 400 milligrams of caffeine. So I was like, all right, I'll be sporting. I'll take like half of one time, which is 100 milligrams. And like, I'm sitting in the library and in my ears, I hear like,
Yeah.
like thudding. And I'm like, I think I need to go lie down. Like, I'm a little bit scared right now.
You look over at your friend and he's breathing like a cat. Like where they're like,
yeah. Mouth open, tongue out.
yeah, like clenched onto the desk. and that's just how he studies. Just a little something to
knuckling Warren.
He's getting C's. Like it's like not helping him at all. He could just go to bed and get a better grade.
He's playing school on hard mode.
Yeah.
He pees every like 10 minutes. Nothing.
One of my best friends is like super brolic. Like he's like calisthenics all day,
cool.
every single day. But I'm convinced that I have a golden ratio for push-ups.
Okay.
And that I can do like pound for or push for push with him. Like I think I could go until
Golden
he can
ratio
go.
of what?
Oh, like your,
Like I don't
your
know, like
body is
being
made.
like small the way that I am. I think that like I don't know. I think I can do a lot of push-ups. I haven't
okay.
tried it. I
That's-
wouldn't know. But like I know in like PE and like middle school, it was like fine. I could
That's
like do them.
me and rock climbing and like
I think I'd be so
pull-ups
good at
and-
rock climbing.
I'm really good at rock climbing
Yeah.
because I'm like an agile little man.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a little fucker and I climb a lot of shit, but I have no rock climbing experience.
Yeah, or like
but
knowledge
but
about.
I'm good at it.
Yeah.
My thing is I could out eat anybody.
Yeah, I've seen you eat a Chipotle burrito in a few seconds.
I had a double meat Chipotle burrito for a senior talent show in
How
58
many
seconds.
caffeine pills?
You know what? Edible caffeine hits different and way worse than drinkable caffeine.
Explain.
I don't know, but every time I eat like a caffeinated Cliff Bar, you have one
I'm
of those?
sorry.
You had a caffeinated Cliff Bar?
What the fuck? Just drink a coffee, Michael.
Well, no, that's the thing. I've only ever ended up with them. Like it's like a flavor that sounds nice.
He's doing,
Oh,
he's doing it to
oh,
fit
And
in.
then you're like, oh, that seems cool, and then you buy it, and it's like with caffeine, and you're like, it sucks.
Jesus. There were these things called awake chocolates.
Oh wait, with the little owl on them.
Yeah.
those
so
go hard.
you could get them at Yale. So you got $8
Guys who
for
go to Yale be like,
By the way,
By the way, when I went to Yale University, you got $8 for a lunch swipe, but awake chocolates were 25 cents. And so you could get, you get 32 awake chocolates. And the rumor was that somebody one day was just going to be like, fuck it, and eat all 32 in one sitting. And they're, what do they have? Like 40 milligrams of caffeine,
it's supposed to
right?
be like half a cup of coffee.
Half a cup, so they have 20?
32 divided by 2 is 16.
What do you, oh, it's 32. Wait, what
Didn't
do
you
you
say
mean?
32?
32 awake chocolate. So 16 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
But how many milligrams are in a cup of coffee?
I don't know.
I think it's
that
like
shit's
25 or something.
That shit's the same as paper towel math to me.
What is
does that
paper
mean?
towel math?
You
How
know,
many?
you-
And it's
you-
like, yeah.
It's like,
The
it's like
mega
this
roll.
is 6 mega rolls, which is equal to 12 ultra deluxe rolls, which is like, and then if you read the per sheet cents on each thing, they list them differently. Like this one's like per like this size sheet, and this one you can't tell which paper towel is the best deal. It's completely impossible.
Why
You
not
just need
just
to buy the
per
big
weight?
one.
They don't but they don't list the per weight is the problem.
Oh.
Like some places do like you know they do the unit price.
Sure.
Whatever like Bounty is listed by per sheet, and this one's listed by per like roll, and this one's like, and they're all different sheet
I
lengths.
just get the Costco ones.
Anyways,
I
that's
just
how I
assume
feel
Costco's
about
got me.
whenever I Google like how much caffeine is in blank. I get like so confused by what they're saying, and I leave.
Okay.
That's
you
all.
get scared?
Yeah, I get really scared.
Do I make you nervous?
You make me nervous.
What are your white whales, Bailey, in terms of fashion? What like you could point to anything, it would appear in your hands. You get three, it's like the world's worst genie. He grants you 3 wishes, but it's only like for fashion.
I feel like a lot of people would still choose fashion if it was a regular genie,
Yeah.
though. I don't know
Really?
that I would, but a
You
lot
get
of people
3
would.
wishes and you're like, I'd love a pair of like 1989 Jordan 1s dead stock. Like that's one of your wishes.
It'd be funny to choose. No, that's not one of mine. It'd be funny to choose like something like contemporary, like Kiko A6, like really attainable things.
I'm really hoping for a Cortada right now.
Yeah,
Let's start off
exactly.
there.
I don't want to go all the way to Soho right now. Honestly, another ILGWU sweater in my actual size, because the one I have is
the
like a
one you-
medium.
Okay.
My friend found it on the street for $5.
Yo, holy
Which
shit.
is like, you should tell your friends the things you're looking for, hands down. I was like really
Yeah.
gatekeepy about that sweater for a really long time, and then I just started talking about it, and it came into my life because of it.
Yo, if anybody sees a 1 of 3 Daft Punk,
Shut
buddy-
up. No, we're canceling. We're not talking about that again.
How many episodes
You're
has this been
not
talked
making
about?
me cut it. Go fuck yourself.
Every episode. How many episodes of Parrot Kings have there been? Because that's the number of episodes Saul has talked about.
2
this.
seasons worth.
Oh no, this has been going for
We're
3
season
4
10,
years.
buddy. Fake fan. Get a load of this going.
Yeah.
Yo, Yannick, find the worst photo of Bailey you can
My
find.
second
and
wish
put
is
it
that I've
above us
seen
right
every
now.
episode, and I didn't say. My third wish is that I didn't say that. Can you tell me yours, and I'll think about mine a little more?
Michael's not going to want to hear the first one I say. Let's
Michael, you want to tell me about yours?
Mine are probably oh no. So mine are like Rick and Balenciaga easily. Balenciaga maxi coat, which they exist, but they're like $6,000. Rick fawn tunic, which has this like crazy embroidery of him and Michelle in like weird, like almost cave painting style. And then I don't know, honestly the third one might be like Tom Brown skeleton overcoat, because that shit's cool as hell. There you go, easy.
1 of 3 Daft Punk.
Maybe a Tom Brown. Oh, I was okay. I'd love a Tom Brown Hector bag,
Oh yeah.
but a big one. And then what would my third one be? Oh man, this kind of sucks. Because I'm all right. Here's my dilemma. I want to get something that I'm actually gonna wear, and it's not just gonna like end up on a wall.
Well, in this scenario, you're not actually getting it, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Oh man, well that takes the fun out of it, doesn't
Bullshit ass genie.
it? Yeah, fuck
Like
this
he doesn't
genie.
do anything.
Yo, he's like, oh, good pics, and just disappears.
He puts it on
Those are
Reddit on a
nice,
list
yeah.
of like the most sought after clothes instead of giving you anything.
To GQ most wanted,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
worse.
yeah.
Oh no, our light went off on this camera. Did we lose power? I just
Probably.
replaced the batteries in this thing. What the fuck? All right. Well, I'll just keep recording.
All right, you've had your time to think.
Yeah, I got nothing still. I don't know. I think actually though, like my screenshots folder is like what has those things that I want, because I don't think I have these like hyper specific grails necessarily. Like I'm more into like the concepts of like the things that I'm seeking, and it's
Clothes
like
I wear ideas.
like it turns into like the thing that I didn't buy on Depop that like kills me. Like there's this like awesome, like there was a shirt from a documentary someone made in the 80s about garlic specifically and what garlic means to cooking, and it was called Garlic is as good as 10 mothers. And I saw
Oh,
it.
I've seen this.
I'll show you.
Really?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
shirt rules.
You showed. Oh, I think you've posted this before.
Let me pull it up. I'll show you. And you can't put the person's name that's selling it because I'm like sick of this person. But I DM'd them after I didn't buy it and saw that it sold, and they were like, I was like, let me know if it ever comes back to you or if maybe you didn't actually sell it. And they were like, yeah, it's coming back soon. Like check out my Instagram. So I followed them on Instagram, and then I waited 2 months, and then I asked him like, hey, is that still coming? He's like, yep, coming soon. And I'm like, all right, so you clearly just like follow baiting me.
Got
Shit.
clickbaited.
Yeah.
You
look
got
at
cooked.
This, though. This thing rules. Like this is so cool.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a heart nugget and a garlic clove for audio listeners.
I'll send it in too.
If you'd like to see it, go over to Pair of Kings podcast on YouTube and watch the episode.
Do you not want Kiko to hear you?
No, I'm scared of him. He's in my walls. So Bailey, we have a Discord,
Yes.
Okay.
lovingly
it.
named the happiest place in fashion.
Is it dope?
Yo, it is. If people would like to join, we usually ask that they send us a word, a phrase. But on all of our guest episodes, we ask our guest to give us the word or phrase that people should DM us on Instagram. Stop DMing me personally, please. To join the Pair of Kings Discord, what should that word or phrase be?
Knitting in the brutalist Sears.
Okay.
Knitting in the Brutalist Sears. Message Pair of Kings Pod on Instagram. Knitting in the Brutalist Sears. And you can join our Discord.
How many New York City DIY knitter people could you fight in a row and come out victorious before falling?
Like fist fight?
Yeah.
Take that how you will. You can use, I'd say you get 2 pairs of knitting needles, 1 ball of yarn, an hour and a half to prepare. And I'd give you like as many whole milk cortados, like, to get you really locked in.
It's free for all?
No,
No, one at a time.
Single combat.
Yeah.
3?
Okay. You'd fall to the third or you'd fall to the fourth?
I think I'd fall to the fourth. Unless it's like, if it's like Ella coming first.
Is
has,
Ella
like,
kicking your ass?
Yeah, she got like long legs. And like she like long reach on her arms. So I feel like she can get to me before I
You
can
match
get to
up
her.
poorly?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I think she's got me in like an arm wrestle even probably.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if it was like Instagram stories and that's how we're battling, I'm winning.
Ooh.
I got everyone.
Okay.
Wait, Instagram, like battling.
Like posting stories to like going story for story.
Yo.
I'm on
Yo, going story for that's the lamest form of fight I think I've ever heard. You're like,
I'm a
oh yeah,
keyboard warrior.
I'm not very good at fighting, but like if we're talking about like frequency you post Instagram stories, I got their ass.
I meant like beefing online.
You
Beefing?
imagine you imagine getting into somebody's face at a bar like pull out your Instagram, bro. Let's go story for story right
yeah,
now.
fucking outpost me right now. You cannot.
Outpost me right
You cannot outpost me.
That's brain over bronze. That's the where I'm at.
Where do you study?
Yeah.
Or where do you work out?
We went to Instagram together.
Jesus Christ, that's terrible.
Jamie's brother's getting married and his bachelor party is in Arizona.
In Scottsdale?
Yeah.
something-
There's like
Yeah,
a weird
of course
like
it is.
it's like a jump in people like rocking with Scottsdale.
Yeah, wait, so is Jamie's brother like a real like normcore kind of fratty guy or is
No, he's like a New York Staten Island Italian.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm in
Yeah.
a group chat with him and like 7 other people of that same like
Yeah.
style and like I'm having so much fun in that group chat.
The something about Scottsdale well, so it's like Scottsdale's like a big like going out like there's whole businesses dedicated to like driving you around in golf carts to different clubs kind of town.
Are golf carts street legal?
Yeah.
Really?
Like they're all over Old Town Scottsdale. It's like it's either like golf carts or I think they've gotten to the point where they have those pedal bikes you can drink on.
dude,
Where
okay.
like all 10 of you are pedaling, you know?
Here's my logic on those, and it pisses me off. The pedals don't do anything.
Yeah.
And it makes me so mad. I had this dream.
They just got you
I
in
had
there
this-
like a little gerbil on a wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
I had this,
convincing you.
this dream in college because I was friends with the lacrosse guys, just essentially strapping them in and being like a Viking, like Norse god, right? Like flying around 85 miles an hour. I got the fucking starting
Those
lacrosse
things are
team
severely like they top out.
like 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, so like
Maybe.
it's not that like if one person was pedaling, it would be moving because of them.
Do you think I could overclock it?
No, I mean it's a gears thing.
Oh.
It's like the way it's geared up is that like
I thought they were electric.
it's gears and so it's like momentum. So the second it reaches a point where the momentum's faster than like the gears will move,
Sure.
it's just coasting.
Oh.
And you're just pulling the sprocket like slightly on a lag for how it's
Keep
already
it going.
moving. Yeah.
So wait, the pedals do work.
Something, but it's like it's the way it's I'm fucking talking out
It's
my
not
ass
using
here,
all the
but
energy
I'm
you put
pretty,
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it could pretty easily be pedaled by probably like 2 people.
So again, this is why we need like Mythbusters. Somebody needs to build one that has like a legitimate like either a gear ratio or just something that allows the pedals to work. And then just strapping like, you know, the US cycling team in and just being like, get to work, boys. Like, you know,
Like
let's-
velodrum races,
Cook
but on
this shit,
those.
yeah. Everyone's got the dumbass pointy hats, but they're facing the wrong way for them to work.
they're facing in towards the bar.
Yeah.
In like the like 80s and 90s, they basically made all of the like fixed gear velodrum bikes look like those hats.
Oh,
Like these
yeah, yeah.
super integrated bikes that were just like so streamlined and
And
straight.
the-
And then they realized it didn't help, and so they stopped doing the like psychotic stuff.
The seat is insanely high.
That's
and
like
the
they all do
handlebars
that
are like
still.
on the floor. Yeah.
That's like common still, but like
Catch me riding around Bushwick in one of those.
there's like people that like make like fixies from those. Like they buy the old retired like
Yeah.
track like test track bikes to do that.
You're on a stoop, like holding position.
Yeah.
You track standing.
Yeah. The red light looking
Track
crazy.
stand, track stand, but like you're fully like face down, ass up.
And you got on like a little beanie and like
Yeah.
your pants are tucked into your
hat
socks.
With the hat
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
with the
tiny,
actual
the
cycling
tiny
one.
lip up.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You got one of those like chrome backpacks.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, not chrome hearts. Chrome. Is it chrome? Chrome is like the. It's
Yeah, I
like
don't know the rest
it's
of
like
the
a
name.
messenger like saddlebag for fixed
Okay.
gear guys.
Their
Gotcha.
logo kind of looks like in like
It's a phoenix or whatever.
yeah, it kind of looks like the like an Italian like motorcycle emblem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. What other small? So we've talked about, or we talked off the podcast about vintage cycling jerseys.
Yeah.
What other fixations do you have in terms of the fashion world?
I'm really like, I'm the type, like I find the thing that I like and that's all that I like. Like for years I wore nothing but like Chuck 70 Converse until my feet started to get like decimated.
I was going to say Chuck 70 Converse. I wore them for 2 days and I was like, first of all, how are they playing basketball in these?
I cannot
Those things are hella comfortable.
Yeah, but it's like once you like
the
walk
soles
around,
are so thin too.
there's no support in them.
Yeah.
And this is not to say that I don't love them because I love
Guys,
them.
I've maybe never worn a pair of shoes that fits good. That's all I got.
I would hate to see your MRI.
Yeah, you got no arch.
What's an MRI?
What's an MRI?
Magnetic resonance imagery?
Yeah, you can look at your bone structure.
Jamie got an MRI on their ankle when they broke it.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, you can get it anywhere. They don't have to do your brain.
You're right. I've had an MRI of my knee done. I don't know why I'm confused. Anyways, carry on.
This is what no Chuck 70s will do to a guy. It's what Ramones will do.
This is what Rick Owens' brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I loved those.
He's watched too many TikToks.
I have.
So usually when we do the podcast here, I have to put Subway Surfers on this TV behind, right? Just so Michael will pay attention and look at the camera.
Yeah.
It's really bad. What other micro trends? Give us the Bailey
My micro trends or everyone else's micro trends
Yours.
that I'm noticing.
And then tell us your
tell
least
us.
favorite one that you've seen lately.
Yeah.
I don't
I
like
mean,
tying
freestyle
bows
mic.
onto everything.
You don't.
You
You're
don't?
anti-coquette.
Yeah, kinda.
You should
But I'm not
reclaim
anti it as a whole.
Go
I'm
and
anti
untie
like
all of them. Be a Grinch.
every single thing doesn't need a bow.
I do think it is kind of funny. The trend where people are putting bows on like window cleaner as they're using it as a meme.
I like that. That's
funny.
Yeah.
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 You know what I
I'm
mean?
cleaning windows, but in a way more coquette and like pretty way than you ever will.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should put bows on our podcast mics.
Oh, good idea.
Would have been good for today.
Sorry.
Whatever.
What else don't you like?
I don't know.
Be a hater.
I am a hater. That's the thing.
You're a
What
hater.
What do you guys not like right now?
I
You.
like everything.
Except
No, Michael.
What?
I know you don't like certain things.
What don't I like?
You just say like that looks like shit. Not quite often, but you'll send me videos of stuff that's just like that looks like shit.
Yeah, I can see specific things, but there's nothing like specifically on the top of my brain that I'm like, I hate this thing.
Oh.
I'm over. Actually, here's like a big hate one.
Ooh.
I'm really over faux mohair, like double jacquard sweaters that are like an inch thick and like the warmest thing ever and like the worst shape and like just like fuzzy for no reason. Like you gain nothing from
the
that
Like the
sweater.
Marnie
existing.
type sweater?
Some knockoff Marnie.
I mean, is Marnie like a double jacquard faux mohair though? That's what I don't.
real
Because I like mohair. Like mohair is
What
fine.
is double
Brushed up.
jacquard?
It's like the type of knitting that's like double faced. It's to do multiple colors at once, but not have loose yarns hanging across the backside of your knitting. It ties them into it, so you get like a double thick fabric.
Right.
Yana,
Okay.
can we get one double jacquard up above us? Just like a quick, here's what it is. And then as an aside, double jacquard is the name of my next band.
That goes crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, double jacquard is like if you were to like reach out to a factory on Alibaba and be like, I want like a mohair sweater, that is exactly what they're gonna give you, is like
Sure.
the acrylic mohair double jacquard that says like forever on it or whatever, and it's like so fuzzy and like way too hot to wear in any situation.
Who's making these currently?
All of the,
Like a lot of people.
yeah.
Really?
Any like honestly, like a lot of higher end brands are doing them, but even like most mid range brands I think are doing
Name
it.
names.
You can go
Ooh.
to Target and like find this stuff right now.
Cool.
Do you have beef with any knitters?
No, I don't think so.
Do you want beef?
Ooh.
Not publicly.
Okay.
Ooh, private beef.
Private beef?
No, I don't. I think I'm trying to not. I'm like trying to take myself seriously going forward. I'm like trying to be an adult now and like have like a
you
real
not
business
previously?
now. Not exactly. I don't think.
Okay.
Like I'm like just trying to be like cognizant of like. I don't know.
How
Not
do
like
you
I've like.
do that?
I'm trying to figure it out right now. I don't know. I feel like I'm failing. No, I'm just like thinking about how like I'm trying to be like a real brand or something going forward.
Sure.
And like I used to like blow a lot of stuff up on my story if someone said something crazy to me in the DMs or something. And like now I'm like, I can't do that anymore. Like I'm past that now.
I'll speak
What
to
crazy
this.
shit did people say in your DMs?
Yeah.
This was really when I was this was like in 2021. I was just thinking about this the other day. Someone said I said something about like ending policing or like changing like police reform, which like everyone was actively talking about, and someone called me a communist or something, and then like got on the like have fun waiting in the bread line thing. And like at that time, Jamie had just actively baked a fresh loaf of sourdough. So I posted it and I'm like, I tagged them on it and I was like, yeah, buddy, I'm not waiting in the bread line because my girlfriend, who's not only beautiful but also sexy, actually bakes me fresh bread.
Shit.
This is such a specifically COVID lockdown coded
series
of things to be happening there.
Like the bread baking, like talking about police reform actively online.
Yeah, it's crazy. What an era.
And I had COVID.
You have COVID?
I think I have COVID.
Did you see the video that was like, as like two sisters and they're like, us when our mom says a word like slightly wrong and they're like deviously laughing immediately?
No.
You know what I'm talking about? Like that.
When your homeboy says something bad, something misspelled in the group chat, and everyone's just like, "How?"
Yeah, like what you just did to me.
We're in a group chat. Michael.
We didn't do that to you. That's a tweet.
Yeah, that's a tweet.
I thought I just said.
No,
I'm not on Twitter.
Damn, we are gaslighting you into thinking you said something wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yannick, can we get? I think the original. I think I have COVID.
God damn it!
Above us,
putting Yannick to work on this one for no reason.
Highest budget episode.
So yeah, I'm not gonna to read the whole tweet because it, you can read it on the YouTube.
I think I have COVID.
Anyway, what was I going to ask? Yeah, I mean, like in terms of micro trends, right? Do you think that does have a large impact on the knitting community because it is so popular at the moment? Do you think it dictates a lot of like the patterns that are coming out, the things that people are talking about? Or do you think that because inherently knitting is such a DIY thing and something that is so, I guess, inherent to the creator itself can be sort of separate from those trends?
It's part of the trends for sure. I think because it's such an accessible hobby. Like when I think about knitting for myself, I'm thinking about it in terms of like a business or a brand or whatever you want to call what I do.
Yeah.
Separately from like the hobby of knitting.
Sure.
But in that hobby, it being such an accessible thing, it's like it has to fall into those trends, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone is going to knit the thing that they're seeing XYZ brand do. That's like the big thing right now. And it's like if you remember that Harry Styles crochet sweater that was like multiple colors, like a cardigan he wore. I forget what. It might have been like a Loewe sweater or something like that, or like whatever it was. But that was like a huge thing. Everyone was then like crocheting that sweater for themselves. And like, honestly, if you want to get into like the micro trends of knitting, you should look at like r/craft snark.
Okay.
It's like all of the beef in the knitting and crochet community. And it is devastating.
Is it all old ladies or is it like?
I think it's mostly young people on that, like that subsection.
Yannick, can we get some craft snark posts?
Art, like top of all time on r/craft snark. Yeah. You like see like, I noticed the other day when I was looking at it, this is like common. I feel like in like older people looking at any type of like trend or whatever, like distressing, like it's like a joke that old people never got, like why having holes in your jeans is cool or whatever. But like there was people like tearing into someone who made a pattern that was purposefully distressed, and like just a ton of comments of people being like, this is disgusting. This like looks horrible. This sucks. They're clearly a bad knitter. And everyone's like, yo, they like did all that on purpose. Like that's the style.
The talent, like every time I've seen like a well done distressed knit, it blows me away.
Yeah.
Like the amount of like, I feel like technical know-how it takes to make it look like it's falling apart without it like completely unraveling the second you put it on is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I love that. The team that I work with in California for like my production, they do a lot of like movie and costume stuff. And they did, I think it was for like a Marvel movie or something, but they did a distressed sweater, but like the distressing was like pentagrams.
Whoa.
And like it looked sick. I don't want to wear it, but like it looks sick, you know? Like it came out really cool.
Michael's
it's not
so
easy.
opium
Give me that Marvel merch.
Yeah, straight opium. The Hulk shorts.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always like, I just got a like distressed knit cardigan, and every time I'm wearing it, I'm just like staring at it. Like it's weird to me that this is not like falling apart. As I'm wearing it.
There's a lot of like thoughtfulness, and like most people that I know who have done a form of like knitting distressing talk about how miserable it is to knit.
Yeah.
Because it's so much added work to make it look like it's just broken.
Yeah, it's cool. I like all the fake distress. I feel like hate on that, but I think really well done fake distressing is very impressive on pretty much anything.
I hated on like pre-faded jeans for a really long time because I was
Yeah,
like raw denim.
raw denim
pilled
boys,
for sure.
what's
yeah,
up?
hands down. But I used to wear
We
like
on heddles and
really
shit.
skinny like raw denim and stuff for a long time.
Should I go get my really skinny raw denim?
Yo,
What are they?
Those are Studio Artisan 40th. Or no, the gold anniversary pair.
did you know? My award-winning raw denim.
Jesus Christ, Michael.
Indigo
Touch grass.
Invitational? What was it?
I was Heddle's Fate of the Year.
What were they?
Pure Blue Japan 24 ounce.
Don't indulge him,
What year?
please. Oh,
2014.
Damn. You got like 2 years on me in the raw denim game. On
Oh,
that
I'd
one.
already been doing it.
I figure as much, but like you have to have at least a year. That's crazy. I'm gonna look those up for sure. I wore a pair of Pure Blues for like a really long time. They were
Hell
really
yeah.
skinny and yeah.
it is
really-
incredible that both of you have girlfriends
Dude.
and I don't.
Yeah, get owned, loser.
The
Well,
fuck?
so-
Clearly,
Start posting on Heddles, dickhead.
The thing is, I used to be like, I'm getting back into I'm getting back into denim a little bit and like I like worn in jeans again, but I can't wear any of the pairs I used to wear because they were skin tight. And I was wearing these skin tight jeans like, fuck, I wish these were tighter.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
a little too. The fact that there is like wiggle room in my calves kind of sucks. I wish these were like fucking vacuum sealed to my legs.
like the dude in the GIMP suit.
Yeah, I used
Or
to have
what is it called? The
the
latex
cube?
tesseract. Yana, can we get latex tesseract?
I used to have my last pair of jeans before I quit was 18 ounces, and I had to pull them around my ankle when I put them on because they were so.
Were they
tight.
long too? Did they
Oh,
stack
they were
like crazy?
stacked,
Yeah.
They were like Momotaro ones that came with a warning that if you hem these, they will get significantly wider because they're that tapered.
Oh,
my
whoa.
God.
They're extreme taper, and it's like if you hem
What's
these,
the
they're
leg
gonna-
opening? Like
6
7
inches.
Oh my God.
Like they were like I had to like over my heel every time I put them on.
You'd feel it pop out of place.
Yeah, I wore them stacked up on my Converse, my CDG Play Converse.
we got it. Like, this is how you combat old people get problems with circulation. They wear like compression socks.
Yeah, just give
Compression
them
jeans.
the 20 ounce Momotaros.
Get them
fading.
fade of the year. It's your grandma.
Yo, my dad just got raw denim. It's really
Really?
hard to convince him to wear them, but one of my cousins does like denim production he has his own denim company, and then he does like freelance design stuff. He gave my dad a pair of jeans,
Sick.
and it's like my dad hates wearing them because they're not like comfortable.
Yeah.
They're like fairly heavy, and I'm like, you
Yeah.
just have to, Dad, you have to just wear them around the house for a week. But
You guys have flipped. I mean, I don't know if you either of you had this experience, but my mom gave me like the worst, scratchiest wool sweater when I was 6. And I was like, Mom, this is a war crime. You hate me as a child. She's like, no, you have to wear it.
He's wearing it like shirtless.
Yeah,
He's like, this
probably.
sucks. She's like, put a sweater on or a long sleeve on.
And then, you wear it like 6 times and it's like great. It breaks in. You're like, oh, it's wonderful. I love it. And my mom's like, I told you so. Flipping it back. You're reclaiming
exactly.
it. Yeah.
I still have a sweater that my mother knit me.
Oh,
That
What is it? Like what's
Uh,
on it or what's the?
It's like a dark gray cable knit kind of, but the cable's not like rounded cables. It's sort of like diagonal,
Oh, cool.
like
Yeah, like more like diamond shape.
but they're not like intersecting. It's just like it's like a single diagonal
Oh,
zigzag
zigzagging.
going
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And then I have a bunch of blankets she knit
That's
around
cool.
that. Yeah.
I love that.
My mother knit me a blanket one year and unintentionally made Rick Owens Dark Shadow camo. I don't know if you've seen that, where it's like
No.
camouflage made of triangles. But like color for color pattern, she accidentally made me a Rick Owens
Have we
blanket.
seen your mom and Rick Owens in the same room?
His mom's Michelle.
Yeah.
She takes out her grills. It's like Dolly Parton. You
Yeah.
know, she like takes off the makeup. It's like, who is it? Who is
Yeah.
it?
Just the grills.
Yeah.
If you like geometric camos, you should check out Yugoslavia's camo.
You should check out Yugoslavia.
So the first job that I worked like when I moved here, like pretty much why I moved here was like I was working for this guy. That's like the only way I could describe him. Who like doesn't exist anymore and had to like move back in with
What do
his
you mean
like
he
parents.
doesn't exist anymore?
Like not online.
What did
like,
you do to him?
What did he do to me, dude? I like worked for him, but we were like taking apart rare military garments and camouflages and like making handbags out of them and stuff. So I have this like I have a lot of knowledge. Yeah, because we had like camos from like countries that don't exist anymore.
There's
like,
not that many.
Yeah.
Kind of. So just some of the ones in like Eastern European
Yeah,
bloc.
that's kind of like all there could be.
Yeah.
But and like ones that like needed to be like we had ones that were like smuggled out of like Kuwait.
There's like a war crime joke in here. I just can't figure
Why
it
would
out.
There was a
Why would
lot
you
of
have
war
to-
crimes, especially like with the guy that it was for. It was like working for him felt like a war crime too.
Do you want us to cut this? You like okay?
Yeah, dude,
To
I don't.
discuss this?
Yeah, put
Okay.
this in.
Like,
I usually
we're gonna
only
see,
talk
like,
about this on the anniversary of quitting, but I'm like
the anniversary.
When's the anniversary of quitting?
The day
yeah,
before
I remember
Thanksgiving.
this. Yeah. You
I
posted in your
air it
story.
out once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think there is like a story in it. I always talk about how like I was convinced that everything that was wrong with this guy's brand was like my fault, but it was just that like he didn't know how to sew and he didn't know how to
man.
like run a brand and he didn't like care and was
He
like
was working
buying.
you to the
He was
bone too,
gaslighting
right?
you.
Dude, I was like I didn't have an apartment. I was like staying at a friend's I would like work from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then like sleep at a friend's house and then get up and like do it again and then like go back to Jamie's parents' house in Staten Island for the weekend and then like do it all again and like not get paid.
At all?
But I was like convinced that it was like, oh no, like we're working on this dream. We got to get it like figured out.
But you
and,
didn't
like,
get paid at all.
like I was meant to get paid, but like there was no money. And like I was getting paid at the start.
Where were the things going that you were making?
On the shelf in the apartment we were in.
He didn't ever sell them.
Like, kinda. It was like a whole thing. Originally I was getting paid like super well because he was a New Era collector, like a New Era hat collector.
What the fuck?
He had 3,000 New Era hats when I like moved here, and like he was like, "Yo, we're gonna sell all these hats."
Did
One
he
day
have a
he was like,
girlfriend?
I'm sick of this shit. I'm making purses out of Yugoslavian camo.
Yeah, like exactly. And then like I would pull up at his house. I was working at Trader Joe's when I first moved here, and
Wait,
I would work 5 p.m. to 1 a.m.
can you
And then
can you pretend as if I just checked out and like do the
like
Trader
flirt with
Joe's
you?
thing?
Is that
yeah.
what you,
Do they? Is that part of the employee training?
dude? It's just horny.
No, I think it's just
It's
the type of it's the
horny.
type
They
of person
legitimately
who gets
wanna
a
flirt with
job
you.
at-
Yeah, they're doing it
it's-
because they want to. Yeah.
It's the same as baristas.
I feel like baristas that comes with the territory.
Trader
though.
Joe's is like more friendly than any barista I've met for
Yeah.
sure.
No, like barista, like you know, you flirt
Flirting
with
is
them.
part of the job.
100%.
But
As a
that
barista.
makes sense as a barista. But at Trader Joe's, like they're not getting tips.
Dude, you're
They're
just
not,
sitting at that counter all day. What else are you gonna do?
What somebody comes up and your first reaction is like, oh shit, like
You know
it
what?
sounds
nice
more
Brussels
interesting
sprouts.
than just being like,
Yeah, you,
"Hey,
you
welcome
want
to
to talk.
Trader Joe's."
no. But okay, so are your only two capabilities of interacting with people like I want to flirt with you or apathetic moaning?
Yes.
In reality, they like pay well and they like care about their employees.
Okay, so
so
you're,
it's
like,
like
in a
people
good
are like
mood.
content.
Sure.
And like one time someone asked me and I told them they pump a gas into the thing that makes everyone really friendly. And like, I don't know if I think they were too old to get that I was like trying to make a joke and they just said, okay, and like walked away. And I was like, all right, well, they're just going to think I'm insane.
Like headliner of the New Yorker.
yeah, they were a journalist.
It's time we talked about Trader Joe's.
Yeah. Anyway, so I would work 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. So like a closing shift. And at
Sure.
1 a.m. I would go to Bushwick. I was in Chelsea working at that store. And then I'd
Yeah.
go to Bushwick and work at his house from like 2 a.m. to like 7 or 8, like listing his hats on eBay.
Jesus.
But we did like
Christ.
$30,000 in sales on
What
those
the
hats in a
fuck?
year.
What makes a good new? What makes like a
Annoyingly, I know now. Like,
Let's hear
I
it.
wish I
what
didn't
makes
know.
a good new era hat?
It's a lot of collab stuff, like a lot of like Tokidoki stuff would sell
What
for like
the fuck?
over like 100 and like Hawaiian brands, a lot of like Hawaiian streetwear brands like 808 somethings and stuff would like sell really well because there's like big new era collecting in Hawaii still. I mean that was like 2019 I'm talking about. I don't know if it's still currently.
The one new era fan listening to the podcast.
Yeah, it's my old
Seething with
boss.
rage.
My old boss is pissed. He's clenching his fist.
That's really interesting. I love
crazy.
finding out that anything I thought was normal is like somehow like a niche interest for a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I felt this. Do you remember Breadface?
Like for the cats?
No. There was this lady whose whole thing
Oh,
on
yeah, she'd
Instagram
squish
was
it with-
squishing bread
Yeah,
with her
yeah,
face,
yeah.
which like got to be a fetish thing for some people.
has to be a fetish
Absolutely.
thing.
But I was just like obsessed with the fact that somehow life came together in such a way that like she could get a huge following off of that and like
Yeah.
somehow stumbled into that. And I feel that way every time I see like some weird hyper specific thing that people are like, this is what my life is about.
Well, there's that dude that just like train spotted and is suddenly now
yeah,
in,
in
like
Gucci ads.
campaigns.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Dudes rock.
Yeah. Dudes do rock.
And like all the people trying to recreate movie props. I think we talked about
Oh
that
my
recently.
God.
That's really sick.
This is what I wanted to talk about.
Like from their favorite movies and stuff.
That's cool. I wanted to talk to you about the girl who like fishes with crabs in your hats.
Dude, that girl rules.
She's
I love
what
her
is this?
so much.
Sick.
She's so cool. So there's a girl.
She's
her name's
so
Caitlin.
cool.
The Bailey Goldberg
double
brand
ch-
ambassador.
Like one of the only, honestly. But
about one of the coolest people you could have. be your brand
she just.
ambassador.
I want to make sure I'm getting her. Like her name is actually Caitlin before I commit to saying that because I like rock with her really heavy. She's so cool. Yeah. So her name's Caitlin. She is really big on TikTok, I think, but also pretty big on Instagram. She crabs, I think is what it's technically called, not crab fishing. But I don't know how she found my stuff, but she's been wearing my beanies for a little bit. But she started posting reels, and like I saw a reel where she was wearing.
You didn't know that she was like, I guess you're like far enough removed from your end product that she could have bought it without you specifically knowing.
Yeah, and like when I like sell on my site, like I do look sometimes and like
Yeah.
check people's Instagrams based on the name that I see them shipping it to. If like the name looks
I do
interesting
that on
or
Grailed
yeah,
all
like
the
you know,
time. I want to know who's
Hunter.
if I'm on
Hunter
Depop or
Biden.
Grailed, I'm definitely checking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like how the guy saw MC Ride buying his boots in like 2015 or whatever.
Wait, really?
MC
What, he
Ride?
like addressed his boots to MC Ride?
No, it was like his real name,
Michael
but it
Charles
was like
Ride.
it was pretty obvious. Yeah, Michael Charles. Mick
Mick.
Mick Ride.
McDonald's Ride.
Yeah.
Mick Ride. MC Ride loves CCP shit, I think.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Dude, avant-garde and like high fashion.
Makes sense.
The only thing I was ever into was CCP. And
Oh.
like in like 2017,
No.
I
The
thought it
worst
was
one you could
dude,
pick.
I know, and I'm
It's because you read someone like that's Endgame and you're like,
no, it was because I saw the drip boots and I thought that was like
Oh,
unreal as a kid.
no, I get it.
Like I get, yeah, like if you like,
Nobody knows how he does it. He doesn't let anybody know.
it's really funny. My buddy does fabrication for a living, like
Sure.
you know, like woodworking and install and stuff, and like is general manager on like a lot of projects and stuff. And he's like, dude, we have the same stuff here. He's like, we dip
Yeah.
stuff constantly in this. Like, this is not a trade secret. Like anyone who like does any form of actual
you just
production
need
can tell what this is.
like slightly more knowledge than you do as a general consumer.
you need to
And
like look
can-
at a catalog once, like
Yeah.
to buy, like literally.
Yeah, I got back into rage baiting. I love
God,
rage
yeah.
baiting. It's so fun. And if you do the bare minimum amount of work, if you make it slightly believable, people will bite.
Yeah.
So I poorly photoshopped 2 photos of a runway with my Woolrich jacket from the 70s.
That was really, I saw the reel this morning.
Yeah. People fell quite hard for it. And then the best
Wait,
thing,
so you photoshopped the jacket into those
Yeah, if you
pictures?
look very
I thought it just
closely-
looked kind of like I thought it was an actual
No.
jacket or something that looked like your Woolrich.
looks nothing. And I think you used 2 different Rick seasons.
Yep.
That's really funny.
You used Cyclops and Mastodon.
I literally saw this 5 minutes before coming here.
So again, you get the people angry about the rage bait. They fall for the rage bait. You get the people who are angry at those people for falling for the rage bait. And then you get the people who just don't understand what's going on, but like in the trenches.
You're like, that was $65,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So rage baiting is so fun. And
I do not have the
you have the chops.
mental fortitude for it, and I the fact that it's happening on an account I have access to, and every now and then I get a notification and I look and I'm like, fuck.
So why I wanted to bring this up is I think Bailey and I fall into the same vein where we're like kind of not petulant tricksters, but like you enjoy a little like stir of the pot type of thing.
Yeah.
Right? What was the last like I'm gonna sort of like push these buttons moment for you?
In public?
Or to a friend.
You guys got to keep talking while I think, unless you're just going to cut it.
Sure. No.
'Cause I need a second.
We cut most dead air, so you,
No.
you
Okay,
got-
yeah, give me
I can also just talk with Michael.
That's fine. Give me a second. I can think of like something. So pushing someone's buttons, rage baiting.
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit.
Rage baiting a little bit.
not
Have you
many
been
people
watching
know, but Vaporeon is.
Vaporeon?
Pokemon.
Vaporeon?
I'm not even gonna. That's a never mind.
The
I'll tell
copy
you-
pasta about having sex with a Pokemon? Why was that the first thing you went to? I was going to ask if you watched basketball last night.
I did not. Watch
Really good
basketball.
game. Harrison Barnes had 39 points in the Warriors.
Who does Harrison Barnes play for?
The Sacramento Kings.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a sport team.
Sport team, correct. Out of
Okay.
Sacramento, California.
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors, led by Steph Curry.
Okay, I know Steph Curry.
Yep.
I know Golden State Warriors.
Can you name any other Golden State Warriors?
Oh, other Golden State? No. Not specifically. I probably couldn't tell you I could tell you like a couple other basketball players.
Okay. Give me.
It feels like my conscience is screaming at me while like I'm trying to think of this. And
We're the devil and the angel
I'm
on
like,
your shoulder.
I know nothing about basketball, but my subconscious is just like really into basketball.
Give me some of the other basketball players you know.
Kyrie Irving,
Okay.
LeBron James.
Nice.
LeBron James. It's the second you ask me, I don't know. Who's the guy who don't got internet like that?
Oh, Charles Smith.
No.
Huh?
No. He my brother. He don't got internet like
I'm
that.
fucking. I was saying if you could just go with the dumbest name, James Harden.
James Harden. Yeah. My brain wanted to say Tim Heidecker. He's just 7 feet tall. He's not a basketball player. He's just really tall.
Is he really tall?
Oh, he's super tall.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would have thought he was short.
Or is it Eric is
other
the really
one?
tall one?
I think Eric's tall.
Eric is tall as hell.
I always remember
Yeah.
Eric is the weird looking one.
They're both weird looking.
His name's Leo, right?
This
He's
is
pushing on me
Leopold.
heavy right
Yeah,
now.
he's pushing your buttons, bro.
Yeah. I can't think of the button pushing that I've done most recently, but two ones that I thought were like funny,
Yeah.
like little like lies or whatever,
Yeah.
where I love lying and be like, a lot of people have been asking me this. Like I'll like post that on my story. Like people have been wondering how I do blah blah blah, and it's like no one has ever asked me this
Yeah.
thing. And I was like, a lot of people ask me like what the rest of my bathroom looks like, because I always like take a picture of myself in the bathroom. And like
I believe that.
like 4 or 5 months ago, maybe even more at this point, sometime like last year, I like took a photo like more zoomed in than I normally would, and then did like an AI uncrop to let it like guess what the rest of the room would look like. But it had cropped my legs, so it put me into like short green shorts and like really, really, really long, like sexy legs.
Hell yeah.
Like that. And then like I did the same thing where I was like, I always like take a picture holding up the beanies in the same spot in my apartment, like in
Yeah.
the same position. And I said like, oh, so many people were like asking, they've seen this angle so many times, like they want to see what it looks like while I'm taking the photo. And I had just been at my buddy's photo studio that day. So I had him take a picture of me like as far away as possible. And he has this massive studio that's like cement and then like all windows all across. And it looks nothing like my apartment. But I had him take a picture of me just standing in the center of the room. And I was like, this is like what it looks like if you were to step away and not look from my camera's view.
This is
I
my
love
Like
that.
stuff
bedroom.
like that. Those are like my like little like lie. Or like I lie to Jamie all the time just for like,
That's healthy.
yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna try and convince you that I donated a kidney to somebody for the podcast.
The thing is,
This is gonna be a long game, and
Well-
I can tell you now because it didn't work out because we didn't see each other for a while. But
were you gonna say you couldn't do it? Like,
no. The plan was to get like a big thing of gauze and like be like really ginger and tender around you and be like, sorry, like I'm just recovering from this, and like, you know.
I'm pretty gullible is the thing. So like I could have like it's a 50-50 on
So,
that one if I fall for it.
My original plan was we were gonna podcast back in December,
Mhm.
and my plan was to have Fifi, mutual friend,
Yeah.
tell you that she doesn't know if I'll be able to make it because I'm feeling or I'm like recovering from the surgery, and just leave it at that, and just like not
Using
elaborate,
Fifi is like a good plan for
Right?
that for sure.
right? So,
But if
then-
she told me in person, I think I'd be able to see through it. If she
Yeah.
texted me, I'd be like, oh,
Okay.
on site, it's for sure happening.
that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll keep this in mind for
I
future
think-
lies.
I was really gullible when I was young. I remember like, especially when I was around people that I wanted to fit in with, I would just listen to whatever they said and take it as gospel. And I remember like, I was like hanging out with like someone older than me, and we were playing Xbox, and it was like him and his other friend. I was trying to like be cool for them. So I was like just listening to what they'd say, be like, that's sick, whatever, you know, like that. And like, they told me they were in a band and that they've like done shows. And I was like, that's really sick. Yeah. Like, that's so cool. Which is like, yeah, they probably did. They were like, yeah, like we had a show where like a guy brought like a monkey and like he like bought him a ticket for a seat. So like he like brought him. I was like, he was like allowed to stay. And they're like, yeah, like they paid for the ticket. So they like had to let him stay. I just like took it as his word for years.
Years.
Damn. Good on them for thinking on their toes and lying to you like that.
I don't think
Good
you
on
had
him for
to
lying to you.
like try when I was a
Oh,
kid. I think it was like
damn.
very just
You're
like,
just like young, impressionable, stars in your eyes kid.
yeah, for sure.
That's kind of, yeah, I respect it.
What's the best lie you've ever told?
Wouldn't you like to know?
That's a good answer.
I do. I think I've talked about this before. There was a more recent one is there was like this fire hydrant that was for some reason like raised out of the ground. Like it was like on an extender. So there's like
I know exactly what those look like. Yeah.
yeah, where it's like 6 inches sticking out of the ground,
That's
and
a
then
good
they
story.
built it in the fire hydrant. And I was walking around with Fiona, and I was like, "You see that? That's actually like the original level of the New York street, and it's actually just sank that much in like the last 40 years."
Like plausible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she went with it.
I just remembered I posted a as everyone who's like 14 and 15 years old is, I was like obsessed with the movie Kids. Like especially I was like wearing Supreme and shit.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
Yeah, but like a Supreme kid who's like 14 is like really into kids, obviously.
Sure.
And like not getting that it's like not supposed to be glorifying the things they're doing and just be like, fuck, I want to skate with my friends in New York. You know?
You mean what's happening right now with American Psycho?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. But so I got like a copy of the like a behind the scenes book they made.
Sure.
And I like had posted on Instagram and someone was like, oh my God, how did you get that? And I told him like my grandma was friends with Chloe. It's just like, why did I say that? That was not true. It's
Kind
such
of
a lie.
Lying on the internet's fun.
Yeah.
Especially when it's rage baiting.
Mhm.
Making people mad, especially because people are like so...
No matter what you do, they're going to be mad.
Exactly. So like get them as mad as possible sort of thing. And like, again, don't do it in a way that's harmful or disparaging anybody, but just like push a button.
I feel like I like to view that stuff now and not be involved anymore. Like I want to like look at the comments on every Instagram reel that I see.
Okay.
But like
People are so mean on Instagram.
it's
mean.
insane.
So funny.
It's so crazy.
He think everything a game. Shit like that.
Or
They're like dog grooming videos and people like 11,000 comments. Every comment would be like, this dog think everything a fucking joke, huh?
there's like a kid in like Eastern Europe somewhere that like dances, you know,
Yeah.
with, like the baggy. He's the only person I've seen with like positive comments
Yeah.
on Instagram reels. People love him.
Yeah.
I feel like when it's like little kids doing something, like
Keep it pushing.
yeah, everyone's always really nice.
There's this
That's like a 50-50.
there's this no.
think so?
There's
I've
this
seen
little
bad
nerdy
ones.
kid on Instagram who has been going on a bulk, and he does it every day, and his comments are like aggressively nice, where it's like, what
Great
is it?
work,
It's
brother.
like-
Keep it up.
no, but that's like too nice. It's like fuck.
The problem is that
I'm trying to think of the example.
The second any of those kids turns like 19, people are like, oh, that's an adult, and they're just gonna be mean to him. All like they spend this whole time building them up, and then the second they see them as an adult, they're like, fuck that guy.
The thing with the kids ones I see all the time is like they'll do anything and the comment will be try fentanyl. Like on every single one except for that one kid who dances. You guys have seen that, right? Like I'm not the only one.
Oh, I get
Yeah,
those.
yeah, all right.
I,
Give
I
them
get
Fent.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's terrible.
Yep.
We should probably wrap up.
Let's wrap it up.
Bailey, we do a segment on every episode of the podcast called Song of the Week, where we take the songs that we've been listening to recently and we add them to a playlist called Pair of Kens for this season. Michael named it. I made the cover. Have you seen the cover?
No, not yet.
Pair
of Kens.
It is Pair of Kens. I'll show it to you.
What's interesting is that now we have a better production schedule, and we're recording before we release. Oh, it's really good.
Yeah. Donna, can you put photo of Pair of Kens up?
People are going to be able to see these songs like several weeks before they.
I've been holding off.
Oh
yeah.
smart guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your song of the week?
Say yours. I'm going in my Spotify likes down a little bit to find the one I've been listening to so
very
much.
fair. Michael, you want to go first?
Yeah, it's Act 2, All is Ash or the Light Between It by The Sound of Animals Fighting.
You say that with such a smirk.
Because I know you're going to hate that name.
Really?
You get so mad when I do anything with like a long name.
Well, maybe it's a nice song.
It's a nice song.
Yeah. I'm going with Golden Hour by Prince Innocence. I've been listening to it a lot. It's a good song.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mine's The Climb by DJ Lucas.
I don't know.
It's gonna switch the vibe up real crazy on that one.
Is it sad or aggressive or what?
It's happy aggressive. It's
Aggressive.
Boston rap.
Yo.
Right.
Well, like Massachusetts rap, I should say.
Are you from Massachusetts?
No,
Oh.
but this guy like reps
Rep Southie?
like reps New England, like
What area is he from?
like Amherst, I think.
Oh my God. Can you do a Massachusetts accent for the duration of the podcast?
No.
The rest of it?
I couldn't do, like I told you, I can't do things on demand. I choke. I don't know that I could do a Massachusetts accent anyways though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
Can you do it for the duration of the podcast?
For the rest, you want me to do the outro?
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say we're just saying bye.
I mean, the outro is like 45 seconds.
Yeah, you can do it. But also, before we take it away,
Before we get out of here, take a couple of seconds. The floor is yours. How would you say floor? The floor? I'll have to think about that one.
Before I take the floor, can I
choked.
just say I didn't realize that they had accents in Family Guy until I got a little older. I never put in that it was like they sound weird because they're from
Rhode
Boston.
Island.
Yeah, Rhode Island.
Quahog, Rhode
yeah.
Island. Yeah. Quahog. I'll figure it out. Take the floor. Floor is yours for the next however long you need it. Send some shout outs. Let the other people know where they can find you. All the things.
Big
Putting you on the
things
spot.
coming,
Don't
watch
choke.
this space.
Yeah.
Don't choke.
You know what? I just got done saying I choke. Shout out Michael. Shout out Saul. You can
Yo.
find them at Pair of Kings on Instagram, right?
Yeah. Pair of Kings Pod.
You want me to drop your personals?
Do you remember him?
_ Saul Thomas
Nope.
Thompson. So is it underscore or what is
Nope.
it? There's no underscore. It's just SOLTOMPSON.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
It's not
at
TOM.
_ Smithstagram. That's Michael's. That's why.
Yeah.
You can find me at Bailey X Goldberg on Instagram and nothing else. Shout out to Lyle McGraw. Shout out to Jamie Rothenberg
Damn.
-Goldberg.
Are you married?
No.
Oh.
We've almost been dating 10 years though.
Damn.
Wow, damn.
Yeah, like since high school.
Are you gonna pop the question?
I'm in no rush, but neither is Jamie. I don't know. I don't think it changes anything for the situation.
Why
that I'm
not
in.
propose on the podcast?
Yo.
They're gonna
Call
listen,
Jamie.
right?
Yeah, I would hope they listen.
Yo. You know, I was
They're gonna
thinking,
break up with me after this podcast.
I put an inordinate amount of pressure on your relationship.
Yeah. They're like, why didn't you do the Boston accent?
That's it.
You always choke.
You,
You
You
always
always
choke.
do this last night.
You're
Because I
always
said I would be an actor if I didn't choke under the pressure of being on camera. Like I could act. I can do a bit like so well if no one's forcing me to do a bit. But as soon as there's pressure, it's over. I freeze.
You're never gonna make it, kid. You're never gonna be a star.
you're never gonna be a star, kid. Anyway,
When is this coming out?
like 3.5, 4 weeks. You got some
Miss-
time to pop
well,
the
no, I was
question
trying to-
before
no, I
then
was
so that it doesn't get, it's
Thinking
not
if I
awkward.
should plug a drop or something, but
Oh
I
yeah,
don't,
plug a drop.
I don't know what's coming. I don't have a production schedule that far out.
Oh shit.
Send us a pre-recorded message.
Or I'll let you pull clips from this to AI my voice and see what it
Yeah.
comes up with.
We'll make the drop for you. Don't worry. Just make sure you get
Send
production
us
ready.
us a really shitty voice memo of like a freestyle of you announcing the drop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as long as it's on my own terms, I won't choke. I'll
Okay.
probably
Yeah.
go crazy if I'm not if I'm not under pressure.
Go nuts.
Thank you so much to everybody for listening to this episode of the Pair of Kings podcast. If you like what you heard and would like to get more, go to herohero.co/POK. For $4 a month, you can get an extra episode and early access to all of these episodes. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, follow the podcast, leave a review. It really helps. I'm your host, Saul Thompson. You can find me on Instagram at Saul Thompson, and I'm joined this week not only by my wonderful co-host.
Man, the longer that outro gets, the more I like choke up when I'm supposed to
the
say
pressure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the pressure. I'm just sitting here like not sure what. Anyways, I'm Michael Smith.
It's like when people sing happy birthday.
Yeah.
You don't know what
Yeah,
to
just
do.
like-
The video where the kid gets up and like twerks.
I'm Michael Smith. Don't find me.
We're joined this week by our wonderful guest, Bailey Goldberg. You can find him on Instagram at Saul Thomas, or _ Saul Thomas. excuse me.
_ Soul Thomas.
And this has been the Pair of Kings podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and X at Pair of Kings Pod. You can find us on YouTube at Pair of Kings Podcast. Thank you so much to everybody for listening. One last time, this has been the Pair of Kings podcast, where once a week, every week for the foreseeable future, we are bringing you business as usual, tomfoolery as planned. Have a great Tuesday, everybody, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Whoop whoop, juggalos out.